They say you can learn a lot about a person by what they do when no one's watching. I learned what I was made of the night I watched a man drag me toward a bathroom with murder in his eyes, and discovered that someone had been watching me all along. My name is Emily Parker. I'm 24 years old, and until 3 months ago, I was invisible. A ghost in black polyester, mopping floors at the Silver Crown while Chicago's elite drank wine that cost more than my rent. I kept my head down, my mouth shut, and my observations to myself. I documented fraud because it felt like the only power I had, a record for the day someone would care. That day came, but not the way I imagined. The man who saved me. He owned more than the restaurant, and what he did next changed everything I thought I knew about power, protection, and what it means to finally be seen. I learned to count in silence. Not numbers, though I counted those too. Each fraudulent line item Craig added to the bills. Each bottle of wine that never left the cellar but somehow appeared on a receipt. I counted seconds. The pause between when a powerful man notices you and when he decides what you're worth. The heartbeats it takes to make yourself small enough that maybe, just maybe, he'll forget you exist. 24 years old, and I'd perfected the art of disappearing. The Silver Crown closes at midnight, but my shift starts at 1 a.m., when Chicago's elite have stumbled into their town cars, and the marble floors are sticky with spilled champagne and the ghosts of conversations I'll never be part of. I wear black polyester that doesn't breathe and shoes that stopped fitting 2 months ago, but new ones cost money I don't have. My grandmother's silver cross, the only thing of value I own, catches in the fabric sometimes. I tuck it back inside. Even symbols of faith should know when to hide. Marcus is 16 and thinks I work in hospitality management. It's not technically a lie. I managed to be hospitable while scrubbing vomit out of imported Italian tile. He's smart enough for college, good enough for scholarships, and I will break my back keeping him from knowing exactly how broken mine already is. Our parents died 2 years ago in a car accident that the police called mechanical failure and I call murder. But you can't prove ghosts and you can't prosecute suspicions. So I learned to swallow rage the way I learned to swallow everything else, with bleach-scented water and silence. Tonight the restaurant is chaos, some tech mogul's private party, the kind where bottles cost more than my monthly rent and nobody bothers learning the staff's names. I'm emptying trash in the service hallway when I see him for the first time. Table 7, corner position, sight lines to both entrances. He doesn't look at his phone even once, which in this crowd makes him a unicorn or a predator. Dark suit that probably costs what I make in 6 months, silver cufflinks catching the recessed lighting, and a face that belongs in old movies, the kind where men were dangerous and didn't apologize for it. He's watching everything, including me. I look away fast. Eye contact is permission, and I don't give permissions I can't afford. But my heart does this stupid skip thing, this betrayal of basic survival instinct. Because there's something about the way he sits, utterly still, utterly present, that makes the chaos around him seem like children playing at importance. Craig appears at his table with champagne nobody ordered. I watch from behind my cart, counting the seconds. Craig's hand shakes slightly as he pours. I've never seen Craig's hand shake. He manages this place like a dictator manages a small country, with cruelty and complete confidence. But right now, pouring wine for the man at table 7, Craig looks like what he is underneath all that performance. Small. Mr. Morello, compliments of the house. I didn't ask for compliments. The voice is quiet. Chicago flat, no performance in it. Somehow that makes it more frightening. Of course, my apologies. I just thought, you thought wrong. Craig retreats with the champagne. I go back to my trash bags. But I'm cataloging, always cataloging. The way Craig wipes his palms on his pants. The way Mr. Morello, that name means something. I can feel it. Returns his attention to the room with the patience of someone who knows exactly what he's waiting for. I finish my hallway work and push my cart toward the kitchen, past the private dining rooms, past the manager's office where Craig keeps 2 sets of books and thinks nobody notices. I notice everything. It's the only power I have, seeing what I'm not supposed to see. I've been documenting his fraud in a notebook I keep in my apartment. Tiny handwriting, every altered bill for the last 6 weeks. Not because I think I can stop it, but because someone should know, even if that someone is only me. Emily. Craig's voice behind me. I turn. He's blocking the hallway, and something in his face is wrong. His eyes are too bright, his smile too wide. Fear makes people dangerous. I learned that watching my father organize his union, watching the men who smiled at him during the day and slashed his brake lines at night. Yes, Mr. Dawson? We need to talk. I'm almost done with now. The word is a fist. I glance toward the kitchen. Witnesses, safety, people who might care. But the kitchen door is closed and Craig steps closer. Close enough that I can smell his cologne mixed with sweat and something sour that might be panic or rage or both. You've been watching me. It's not a question. My throat closes. The cross against my chest suddenly feels heavy as an anchor. I don't know what you... Don't fucking lie to me. You think I don't notice? You think I don't see you counting? Writing in that little notebook you think nobody knows about? He knows. God, he knows. I should run. I should scream. I should do any of the smart things that might keep me alive and employed and able to pay Marcus's tutoring bills. Instead, I hear my mother's voice, the one that got her killed, saying what I shouldn't. It's theft. What you're doing. It's theft. The words hang between us like confession or curse. Craig's face does something terrible. This twisting thing. Fear morphing into fury, morphing into something worse. Decision. You stupid bitch. His hand clamps around my arm. Hard enough to bruise, hard enough that I know he means it. He starts dragging me down the hallway, away from the kitchen, toward the staff bathroom where there are no cameras and no witnesses and no proof of whatever he's about to do. You want to question me? You want to threaten my operation? I'm going to teach you what happens to people who forget their fucking place. I try to pull away. He's stronger. I open my mouth to scream, and he clamps his other hand over my jaw, fingers digging into the soft parts that don't show damage easily. He knows what he's doing. This isn't his first time. Nobody cares what you see, Emily. Nobody cares what you think. You're a janitor. You're nothing. And when I'm done with you, the voice that interrupts is quiet as a blade. Remove your hand. Now. Craig freezes. His grip loosens but doesn't release, like he can't quite process what's happening. I turn my head, as much as I can with his hand still on my jaw, and see him, Mr. Morello, 10 feet away. He wasn't there 5 seconds ago, which means he moves like smoke or was already watching, already waiting. The hallway suddenly feels smaller, colder, like all the air got sucked toward him. This is a private staff matter. Craig starts, trying to reclaim authority that's already bleeding out of him. This is assault, on my property, remove, your hand. Each word is a nail in a coffin. Craig's hand falls away from my arm, then my jaw. I stumble back against my cart, throat working, trying to remember how to breathe. The man, Morello, doesn't move toward us. Doesn't have to. His presence alone rearranges gravity. Mr. Morello, I apologize. This employee has been doing her job while you steal from me. Silence. Craig goes white. Not pale, white. Like someone drained all the blood from his face in one sentence. I haven't. You altered 17 bills tonight alone. 43 this week. I've been watching you for 6 weeks. Every fraudulent bottle, every phantom dish, every dollar you thought I wouldn't miss. 6 weeks. The same time I've been documenting. We were counting the same sins. Craig's mouth opens, closes. He looks at me with something that might be hatred or terror or both, and I know, whatever happens next, I'm already destroyed. Either Craig will find a way to finish what he started, or this man will use me as evidence and throw me away when he's done. Or I'll lose this job and Marcus will lose his chance and everything I survived, my parents' death to build, will collapse. But then Morello's eyes find mine. Not Craig's, mine. And they're dark as promises, dark as warnings. And underneath all that darkness is something I don't expect. Recognition. Like he sees me. Actually sees me. Not the uniform. Not the invisible girl who counts sins in silence. The person underneath who's been drowning in quiet desperation and trying not to let anyone notice. You just put your hands on my employee, which makes this my problem now. Craig starts to speak. Stops. Because there are men appearing from nowhere. Security, I think, though they move like soldiers, silent and efficient and utterly unconcerned with Craig's sputtering attempts at explanation. Morello's voice drops lower, intimate as violence. and I solve my problems permanently. He doesn't touch Craig, doesn't have to. The security men step forward, and Craig goes with them like a puppet with cut strings, his protests fading as they escort him toward an office I've never been allowed to enter. And then it's just us. Me and this stranger who somehow owns everything. The restaurant, the moment, possibly my entire immediate future. What's your name? My voice comes out smaller than I want. Emily Parker. Emily. He says it like he's testing the weight of it, like names matter to him. Are you hurt? No. A lie. My arm is screaming. My jaw aches. But admitting damage feels dangerous in ways I can't articulate. Good. He steps closer, not threatening, just present, overwhelming in the way oceans are overwhelming. Do you have somewhere safe to go tonight? I have an apartment, a brother. I need this job. You'll have this job, different position, same pay to start. I should feel grateful. I do feel grateful. But gratitude mixed with fear tastes like copper, and I can't shake the feeling that I just traded one cage for another. Why? The question escapes before I can stop it. He could fire me for less. Instead, he almost smiles. Almost. Because you kept records. Because you saw what was wrong and documented it even when you knew it was dangerous. Because most people in your position would have looked away. I'm good at looking away. No. His voice is certain as mathematics. You're good at hiding. There's a difference. He pauses, and something in his expression shifts. You're good at pretending to look away. But you see everything. Don't you, Emily? The words land like prophecy or threat. I don't know how to answer, so I don't. We stand in the hallway, this stranger who knows my name and apparently owns my safety. And I feel the earth shifting under me in ways I can't control and didn't ask for. Go home. His voice gentles. My head of security will contact you tomorrow. We'll need your statement, your records, if you're willing to share them. And if I'm not, then you're not. But I think you want the same thing I do. What's that? The truth. Justice. Whatever you want to call making sure men like Craig don't destroy people like you. People like you. The words should feel dismissive. Instead, they feel like being seen through a window I didn't know was transparent. I nod. Don't trust my voice. He steps aside, permission to leave, and I push my cart past him on legs that remember how to move, but forget why. At the hallway's end, I glance back. He's watching me. Still, always, and his expression is unreadable except for one thing I recognize because I've felt it myself every day for 2 years. Rage. Cold and controlled and absolutely committed to burning down everything in its path. I make it to the employee exit. To my car. I'm fumbling with my keys when my phone buzzes. A new number. A single text. You were never nothing, Emily. And the people who made you feel that way are going to learn what it costs. VM. Vincent Morello. I should delete it. Should run. Should understand that powerful men don't save janitors without expecting something in return. But I don't delete it. Because underneath the fear and shock and adrenaline crash, there's something else. Hope. Dangerous and desperate and absolutely stupid. The kind that gets you killed or gets you free, and you don't know which until it's too late to choose. I drive home through Chicago streets that smell like rain and exhaust. Marcus is asleep when I get in. I check his breathing, habit from 2 years of being the only thing standing between him and the world. And then I sit at our kitchen table with my notebook. 6 weeks of evidence. 6 weeks of counting sins. I open it and start to read, and for the first time I wonder, what if someone actually cares? My phone buzzes again. Different number this time. This is Teresa Voss, Mr. Morello's head of security. I'll be at your residence at 9 a.m. Please have your documentation ready. And Emily, lock your doors tonight. Craig Dawson made bail an hour ago. The world stops. Craig is out. Craig knows where I live. Craig has every reason to finish what he started. I check the locks. Then check them again. Then sit on the floor with my back against Marcus's door and my phone in my hand and my grandmother's cross pressed against my racing heart. Counting seconds. Waiting for morning. Hoping I live long enough to see what happens when a girl who learned to hide finally gets seen by someone who knows how to look. I don't sleep. I count heartbeats instead. Mine, then Marcus's through the thin wall. The rhythm of 2 people trying to survive in a city that eats the vulnerable. At 3 a.m., I hear a car slow outside our building. It doesn't stop. At 4 a.m., footsteps in the hallway that pause at our door. They keep walking. By the time dawn bleeds gray light through our kitchen window, I've memorized every sound our building makes when it's trying to kill you or just creaking with age. Teresa Voss arrives at exactly 9 a.m. Not 8:58, not 9:02. Exactly 9. She's 40-something, black, with silver threading through her natural hair and eyes that catalog everything in 3 seconds flat. She wears a navy suit that moves like armor and carries a leather portfolio that probably costs more than my car. Emily Parker? That's me. May I come in? I step aside. She enters like she's mapping exits, sightlines, vulnerabilities. Marcus is at Saturday tutoring, safe, away, unknowing. The apartment suddenly feels smaller with her in it, cheaper. Our secondhand furniture and peeling paint exposed under her professional assessment. She doesn't comment, just sets her portfolio on our kitchen table, the same table where I counted Craig's fraudulent bills last night. Coffee? Black, if you have it. I do. I pour 2 cups. My hand's steadier than I expect. She waits until I sit before opening her portfolio. Inside, documents, photos, a new phone still in its box. How's your arm? The question catches me off guard. I touch the bruises instinctively. Purple-black, shaped like fingers. Craig's ghost still gripping me. Fine. Liar. She says it without judgment. Just observation. But I understand. Pain, you admit, is pain someone can use against you. Something in my chest loosens. Just a fraction. She gets it. She knows. Mr. Morello asked me to ensure your safety and brief you on next steps. She slides a document across. This is a new employment contract. You're being transferred from janitorial services to administrative operations, effective immediately. Salary is 3 times your current rate. Health insurance, dental, vision. Your brother is also covered. I stare at the paper. The numbers don't make sense. Nobody pays janitors like this. Nobody pays janitors at all. We're invisible expenses on balance sheets, easily replaced. Why? Because you're not a janitor anymore. You're the key witness in a fraud investigation that goes much deeper than Craig Dawson's petty theft. She pauses. And because Mr. Morello believes in compensating people fairly for the risks they take. I didn't take risks. I just counted. You documented systematic fraud while working for the man committing it. That's not counting. That's courage. She taps the phone box. This is yours. Encrypted, secure line. My number is programmed in. You call me if anything feels wrong. Anything. Craig made bail. I know. We're handling it. What does that mean? Teresa's smile is winter sharp. It means he's being watched. Every move, every call, every person he contacts. If he comes within 2 blocks of you or your brother, we'll know before he takes his second step. The relief should feel complete. Instead, it feels like trading one leash for another. I sign the contract because I'm not stupid enough to refuse stability, but my hand shakes slightly. Teresa notices. She notices everything. You're wondering what the cost is. I meet her eyes. Everything has a cost. Yes. She closes her portfolio. The cost is truth. You give us your documentation, you testify if needed. You work with us to understand the full scope of what Craig was involved in. That's all. That's everything. She stands. Mr. Morello doesn't ask for loyalty you haven't chosen to give, but he does expect honesty. Can you do that? I think about my parents, the lies they were told, the promises that dissolved into brake lines and closed caskets, the way truth got them killed and silence kept me breathing. I can try. Good enough. She hands me a card. Be at this address. Monday, 9th a.m. Bring your notebook. Bring questions. Bring whatever you need to feel safe. She leaves the same way she came, efficiently, completely. The apartment feels empty after her, haunted by the possibility that maybe this time someone with power is actually on my side. I spend Saturday researching Vincent Morello. What I find is fragments, shadows, careful PR, and careful silence. Philanthropist, businessman, owner of 7 restaurants, 3 nightclubs, 2 hotels, nothing illegal, nothing concrete, but the absence of information is its own information, the kind of absence that costs money and muscle to maintain. There are photos. Him at charity galas, always in the background. Him at city council meetings, never speaking. Him at a ribbon cutting for a youth center in Pilsen, surrounded by grateful families and politicians who look nervous in his presence. In every photo, he's watching. Just like at the restaurant. Like the world is a chessboard and he's already planned 17 moves ahead. Marcus comes home at 4, full of calculus problems and complaints about his study partner. He's 16 and brilliant and has no idea how close we came to losing everything last night. I don't tell him. I'm good at protecting him from truths that would crack his world open. You okay, Em? You look tired. Didn't sleep great? Bad dreams? Always. But I smile. Something like that. How was tutoring? He talks while I make dinner. Spaghetti, cheap and filling, the same thing we ate 3 times this week. He doesn't complain. He learned early that complaining costs more than we can afford. While he does homework, I sit with my notebook and read through 6 weeks of evidence that might save us or destroy us, depending on whose hands it ends up in. My new phone buzzes. Teresa. Driver will pick you up at 8:30 a.m. Monday. His name is James, gray sedan, license plate AK74921. Trust no one else. I save the information. Then I check our locks again. Old habits dying hard. Sunday passes in slow terror. I take Marcus to the library, to the grocery store. Normal places where normal people do normal things. But I'm counting exits now. Watching cars. Seeing threats in every stranger who looks too long or walks too close. Teresa said Craig is being watched. But what if they miss something? What if the people watching me are more dangerous than the people they're protecting me from? At midnight, I stand at Marcus's door again, listening to him breathe. 16 years old and he still sleeps like a child. Absolute, trustful. He believes the world is fundamentally fair because I've worked so hard to make it seem that way. I'm 24 and I know better. But maybe I can build something fair for him anyway. Even if I have to walk through fire to do it. Monday morning. James arrives exactly at 8:30. Gray sedan, right plates. He's 50-something, quiet, opens the door without speaking. I slide into leather seats that smell new and expensive. Marcus thinks I'm starting a new office job. He doesn't need to know about the bodyguard driver or the encrypted phone or the way my life pivoted on a stranger's intervention. The address Teresa gave me isn't the Silver Crown. It's a building in the Loop, glass and steel, the kind of place where decisions get made that reshape city blocks. James takes me to the 15th floor, down a hallway that's too quiet, too empty. He knocks once. Come in. Vincent Morello's voice. I recognize it even though I heard it exactly once. Removing your hand now. And it's been living in my head ever since, replaying in the spaces between sleep and panic. James opens the door. I step through. The office is unexpected. I anticipated intimidation, leather and dark wood and the trappings of power. Instead, windows overlooking the lake, bookshelves crowded with worn spines, a desk that's organized chaos, papers, coffee cups, a chess set mid-game. It looks lived in, human. He stands when I enter, still wearing a suit that costs more than my rent, but something about his posture is less formal than I expected. He gestures to the chair across from his desk. Emily, thank you for coming. Did I have a choice? A slight smile. Always. That's the point. I sit. He sits. We study each other in the morning light, and I realize he's younger than I thought. Maybe 35, maybe less. The kind of young where you've already lived 3 lifetimes but your face hasn't caught up yet. Teresa says you have questions. I have 1,000 questions. But I start with the only one that matters. Who are you, really? He doesn't flinch. Doesn't perform surprise or offense. Just considers the question like it's chess and I just moved my queen. I'm the person who inherited power I didn't ask for and decided to use it for something other than accumulation. His voice is steady, factual. I'm the man who owns the Silver Crown and 6 other properties, who employs 400 people in this city, who has spent 10 years trying to prove you can build something legitimate in a city built on corruption. That's a press release, not an answer. You want the real answer? He leans forward slightly. I'm the son of a man who believed power meant crushing anyone who questioned you. I watched him destroy lives, workers, families, anyone who stood in his way. When he died, I inherited everything, and I decided to be different. It doesn't always work, but I try. The honesty is disarming. I expected deflection, careful PR. Instead, he gives me vulnerability dressed as fact. Craig was stealing from you for months. Why didn't you stop him sooner? Because I wanted to know who he was stealing for. Vincent pulls out a folder, slides it across. Craig Dawson isn't smart enough to run a scheme like this alone. Someone was feeding him instructions. Someone with access to our systems, our finances, our vendor relationships. I open the folder, financial documents, wire transfers, names I don't recognize except one. Richard Hale, developer. I've seen his face on billboards, luxury condos, urban renewal, the kind of projects that displace poor people and call it progress. Hale wants the silver crown. He wants the land it sits on, and he's willing to destroy the business to get it cheap. Vincent's voice hardens. Craig was his inside man. Sabotage disguised as theft. Make the restaurant look unstable, drive down the value, swoop in with an offer. So you knew. This whole time, you knew. I suspected. You confirmed. The weight of that lands heavy. My documentation wasn't just evidence, it was proof. Ammunition. I handed Vincent Morello the tools to go to war, and I didn't even know it. What happens now? Now we go deeper. He taps the folder. Craig is cooperating, not because he wants to, but because the alternative is worse. He's naming names, showing us the network. But there's still a piece missing. What piece? Someone inside my operation is feeding Hale information. Someone I trust. Vincent's expression goes cold. And I need to know who before they realize we're closing in. The implication settles between us like ice. I'm not just a witness anymore. I'm bait. Or a tool. Or both. You want me to help you find the mole. I want you to do what you do best. Watch. Document. Tell me what you see that I'm too close to notice. He pauses. But only if you choose to. I won't force this. You've already given enough. I should say no. Should take the new job and the salary and disappear into safe obscurity. But I think about my parents, about unions that failed them, about systems that protected the powerful and fed the vulnerable to wolves. I'll do it, but I need something. Name it. Protection for Marcus. Real protection. If this goes wrong, if Hale figures out I'm helping you, he doesn't get touched. Ever. Vincent's gaze holds mine. Done. He's already covered. Teresa has a team on him. He'll never see them. But they're there. How do I know you'll keep that promise? Because I know what it's like to be responsible for someone you die for. And I don't make promises I won't keep. The sincerity in his voice cracks something in my chest. I nod, not trusting my voice. He slides another document across. My official duties. My office location. My access credentials. It looks legitimate, it probably is. But underneath the paperwork is an unspoken contract. I hunt the traitor in his ranks, and he keeps my brother breathing. Fair trade. Terrible trade. Only trade I've got. I'm gathering the documents when my new phone buzzes. Teresa. But the message isn't from her number. It's forwarded from an unknown sender. A photo. Marcus outside his school. Taken this morning. High resolution. Professional. And underneath, one sentence that stops my heart. You made a mistake, Emily. People who cross Craig don't get second chances. Neither do their families. Vincent sees my face. What is it? I can't speak. Can't breathe. Just slide the phone across with hands that have forgotten how to stay steady. He reads it. His expression doesn't change, but something behind his eyes ignites. Rage compressed into diamond-hard focus. Teresa. He speaks into his phone before I can process. Marcus Parker. Code red. Extract and secure. Now. Extract? My voice breaks. What does that mean? It means he's not safe there. We're moving him. He looks at me, and for the first time I see something that might be regret. I'm sorry, Emily. I thought we had more time. Time for what? For them to make their move. He stands. Get your brother. Pack what he needs for a week. Teresa will take you both somewhere secure until we neutralize the threat. A week? He has school. He has you. That's what matters. Vincent's voice gentles but doesn't soften. I know what I'm asking. But if they're threatening him, They're desperate. Desperate people make fatal mistakes, usually with other people's lives. The room tilts. This is real. The threat isn't abstract anymore. It's Marcus's face in a crosshairs, my baby brother who still thinks the world is survivable. I should have stayed invisible. No. Vincent comes around the desk, close enough that I can see the storm in his dark eyes. You should have been protected long before you needed to be brave. This isn't your fault. It's theirs. And they will pay for it. The promise in his voice is absolute, terrifying. The kind of promise that comes with collateral damage and moral compromise and blood on expensive tile. But it's also the only thing standing between Marcus and whatever Craig, whatever Hale, has planned. Okay. My voice sounds foreign, hollowed out. Okay. What do I do? You trust me. Just for today. Just until we know he's safe. Trust? The most expensive thing anyone's ever asked me for. But I look at Vincent Morello, this stranger who stopped an assault, who offered protection, who just mobilized his entire security apparatus because someone threatened a 16-year-old he's never met, and I make a choice that will either save us or destroy us. I trust him. Teresa appears in the doorway like she was summoned by thought alone. Marcus is secure. We got to him first. She looks at me. He's scared but unharmed, thinks it's a school security drill. Where is he? Safe house in Evanston. You can see him in 20 minutes. The relief is physical, violent. I'm standing but don't remember rising. Vincent's hand touches my elbow. Steadying, not controlling. Breathe, Emily. I do. Once, twice. Then the question that's been clawing at my throat since the photo appeared. How did they know? How did they know where to find him? Teresa and Vincent exchange a look. Long, heavy, confirming what I already suspect. The leak isn't just in my organization. Vincent's voice is granite. It's someone with access to our protection protocols. Someone who knew exactly where Marcus would be and when. The betrayal is a knife between ribs. Someone inside Vincent's trusted circle just painted a target on my brother's back. We find them. I'm surprised by the steel in my own voice. We find whoever did this, and we end them. Vincent's expression shifts, surprise bleeding into something darker, something almost like pride. First we protect, then we hunt. He looks at Teresa. Full security sweep. Everyone with access to Parker protection details. I want names, histories, financials. If someone sold us out, they left a trail. Already on it. Good. He turns back to me. Get your brother. Make sure he's okay. Tomorrow, we start digging. I nod, start to leave, then turn back. Vincent? Yes? Thank you. For not letting me face this alone. Something crosses his face. Too fast to name. Too raw to be professional. You were never going to face it alone. Not once I knew you existed. The words settle in my chest like an oath or a threat or something dangerously close to promise. I leave before I can analyze what they mean, before I can question why a powerful man would care about a janitor-turned-witness and her teenage brother. Teresa drives me to Evanston. The safe house is suburban, anonymous. Marcus is sitting on a leather couch, looking confused and angry and scared. All the things 16-year-olds feel when their lives get interrupted by forces they don't understand. What's going on? They said there was a threat? They just grabbed me from lunch? I wrap him in a hug that probably breaks his ribs. You're okay. You're safe. That's all that matters. Safe from what? I don't answer. Can't answer. Because the truth is, I made him a target the moment I decided to count Craig's sins instead of ignoring them. I thought I was protecting us by staying small. Turns out, even small people cast shadows when the light is bright enough. And Vincent Morello's attention is the brightest, most dangerous light I've ever stood in. Teresa appears with food, with blankets, with assurances that we're secure. But as night falls and Marcus finally sleeps in an unfamiliar bed, I sit by the window and watch the suburban street and wonder, how many people are watching back? And which ones are trying to keep us alive versus waiting for the perfect moment to finish what Craig started? My new phone buzzes. Teresa, got a hit on the leak. You need to see this. But Emily, when you do, everything changes. Are you ready? I look at Marcus. At my brother who deserves a life bigger than survival and safer than the one I've given him. I think about my parents, about their brake lines, about justice that came too late or never at all. Then I text back 2 words, "Show me," because I stopped counting seconds the moment Vincent Morello said, "Removing your hand." Now I'm counting something else. The names of everyone who thought they could hurt us and walk away. And when I'm done counting, someone's going to pay. Teresa picks me up at dawn. Marcus is still asleep, guarded by 2 men who look like they were carved from granite and trained in places that don't appear on maps. I kissed my brother's forehead before I left, the way our mother used to. A benediction, a promise, a prayer that I'll come back. The drive into the city is silent. Teresa doesn't do small talk, and I'm grateful. Words feel impossible when your world is compressing into a single point of terrible clarity. Someone you trusted is the reason your brother's face appeared in a crosshairs. We don't go to Vincent's office. Instead, Teresa drives to a warehouse in Bridgeport, the kind of neighborhood where questions don't get asked and answers don't get given. The building looks abandoned from outside, all rusted corrugated metal and broken windows. Inside is different, clean, organized. A command center disguised as decay. Vincent is already there, standing in front of a wall covered in photographs, documents, strings connecting faces to places to crimes. He doesn't look like he slept. I don't think he did. "Emily." He turns, and something in his expression makes my chest tight. Not pity. Something worse. Regret. "Show me." Teresa pulls up a file on a laptop. Security footage, time-stamped from yesterday morning. The camera angle is internal, one of Vincent's own systems. I watch a figure enter a restricted office, access a computer, download files. The person moves with familiarity, no hesitation. They know exactly where to look. When they turn toward the camera, my breath stops. David Chen, Vincent's operations manager, the man who hired me 2 years ago when I was desperate and grieving and willing to take any job that came with a paycheck. The man who always asked about Marcus, who remembered his birthday, who seemed genuinely kind in a world that had forgotten kindness. No. The word comes out broken. No, David wouldn't. He did. Vincent's voice is gentle as a funeral. For 6 months, feeding Hale everything, schedules, financials, security protocols, including where your brother goes to school. The betrayal is physical. I'm standing, but the floor feels liquid, unstable. David was safe. David was good. David was one of the few people in that restaurant who treated me like I mattered. Why? Money. Teresa pulls up bank records. $50,000 deposited over 6 months. Offshore accounts, careful layering, but not careful enough. Where is he now? Vincent and Teresa exchange another look. The kind that says, "This is where it gets worse. We don't know." Vincent's jaw tightens. He disappeared 8 hours ago. Cleaned out his apartment, wiped his electronics, vanished. Either Hale extracted him, or he knows you're coming. I finish the sentence because I understand now. This is how it works in Vincent's world. Betrayal doesn't get a trial. It gets erased. We have people looking. But Emily, Vincent steps closer, and I see the storm behind his careful control. He knows everything. Your address, your routine, Marcus's schedule, every vulnerability we tried to protect. So we're not safe, even here. You're safer than you were. But safe? No, not until we find him. The room tilts. I grab the edge of a table, fingers white-knuckled against metal. 2 years, 2 years of David's smile, his small kindnesses, his questions about how Marcus was doing in school. All of it performance, all of it poison disguised as care. I trusted him. I know. Vincent's voice cracks slightly. So did I. That's why it worked. I look at the wall of photographs. The web of connections spreading out from the silver crown like infection. Craig Dawson, Richard Hale, David Chen, and others. Faces I don't recognize. Names that mean nothing to me, but clearly mean everything to Vincent. How deep does this go? Deeper than fraud. Vincent traces a line between photos. Hale isn't just after one restaurant. He's systematically targeting properties owned by people who won't sell. Manufactured scandals, planted evidence, violence when necessary. The Silver Crown was supposed to be his proof of concept. Proof for what? A development plan that would displace 3,000 families and put 200 businesses under. All so he can build luxury condos nobody who actually lives in those neighborhoods can afford. The scope of it steals my breath. This isn't about me. It was never about me. I'm collateral damage in a war over real estate and power, and whether Chicago belongs to the people who built it or the vultures who want to pick the bones clean. My parents. The words come out before I can stop them. The union organizing. The brake lines. Was that? I don't know. But I'm going to find out. Vincent's expression is iron. If Hale's been running this play for years, your parents' deaths fit the pattern. Opposition eliminated. Witnesses silenced. The rage that fills me is cold and complete. Not the hot fury of sudden loss, but the glacial certainty that comes from watching the pieces finally form a picture you've been staring at for years without seeing. I want in. All the way in. Whatever you're planning, I'm part of it. Emily, don't. I cut him off, and my voice is steel wrapped in silk. Don't protect me from this. They killed my parents. They threatened my brother. They used David's kindness as a weapon. I deserve to be there when you take them down. Vincent studies me for a long moment, then nods. Okay, but we do this smart. We don't just destroy Hale, we expose him. Make it public, legal, permanent, so he can't rebuild in the shadows. How? Teresa pulls up another file. We have Craig's testimony, financial records, security footage of David accessing restricted files. But what we need is the smoking gun, direct communication between Hale and his operatives. Orders, threats, evidence that can't be explained away by lawyers. And you think David has that. I think David is scared enough to use it as leverage. Vincent's smile is winter. Which means we need to find him before Hale does. Because whoever gets to David first controls the narrative. The plan crystallizes. Hunt the hunter. Find the mole before he can disappear or die. Extract the evidence that will burn Hale's empire to ash. Where do we start? With the last person who saw him. Teresa pulls up a photo. David's girlfriend, Maya Torres, works at a coffee shop in Wicker Park. She reported him missing this morning, but something about her statement felt rehearsed, protective, like she's covering for him. I look at the photo. Maya is young, maybe 25, with dark eyes and a wary expression. She looks like someone who learned early that trust is expensive and betrayal is cheaper. She looks like me. I'll talk to her. Emily, you're not trained for... I don't need training. I need her to see someone who understands. I meet Vincent's eyes. You send Teresa. You send your security team. She'll shut down. But me, a woman who got caught in the crossfire of men's games, she might actually talk. Vincent considers this. Then, reluctantly, you don't go alone. I'm with you, but we do it your way. Deal. An hour later, Vincent and I walk into Common Grounds Coffee in Wicker Park. He's dressed down, jeans, leather jacket, baseball cap that shadows his face, trying to look normal, almost succeeding. But there's something about him that defies camouflage. The way he moves, the way his attention never stops cataloging threats. You can take the man out of danger, but you can't take the danger out of the man. Maya is behind the counter, making a latte with hands that shake slightly. She's pretty in that effortless way young women are before life teaches them to weaponize or hide it. When she sees us, something flickers in her expression. Recognition. Fear? I order a coffee I don't want. Vincent orders black, no sugar, of course he does. We take a table by the window, waiting. 5 minutes later, Maya's shift ends. She grabs her coat and heads for the exit. I follow. Maya? She turns, up close. I see the shadows under her eyes, the phone she's gripping like a lifeline. I don't know you. No. But I know David. And I think you know where he is. Her face goes carefully blank. I don't know what you're talking about. He's in trouble. Real trouble. The kind that ends with people getting hurt. I step closer, voice dropping. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to help. But I need you to be honest with me. Why should I trust you? Because 24 hours ago, someone threatened my 16-year-old brother because of what David told them. I show her the photo on my phone. Marcus outside his school. Crosshairs implied. So whatever you think you're protecting him from, it's already here. And it's not just him anymore. Something breaks in her expression. Fear bleeding through performance. He said he was keeping me safe, that if I just kept quiet, everything would be okay. He lied. Vincent's voice comes from behind her, quiet and absolute. And now people are going to die unless we find him first. Maya looks between us, trying to calculate the risk, the cost, the least bad option in a situation where all options are bad. He's at a motel, South Side, the Starlight, off Cicero. She swallows hard. He's scared, says someone's coming for him. They are. Vincent's expression doesn't change. We need to get there first. Maya's eyes fill with tears. Please don't hurt him. He didn't mean... Whatever he did, he was just trying to survive. I understand that. God, I understand that. Survival makes you do terrible things, makes you betray people who trust you, makes you sell out everyone else to save yourself. But survival isn't the same as justice. And David's survival came at the cost of my brother's safety. I can't promise anything, but I can promise we'll try to keep him alive. That's more than whoever else is looking for him will offer. She nods, wipes her eyes, walks away without looking back. Vincent and I return to his car. Teresa is already on the phone, mobilizing the team. The Starlight Motel. 20 minutes if we break every traffic law. 30 if we don't. You okay? Vincent asks as we drive. No. But I will be. When this is over. And if it never is. If there's always another threat, another betrayal, another reason to count exits instead of sleeping. I look at him. Really look. And I see it. The exhaustion underneath the control. The cost of being the person everyone expects to have answers. He's not invincible. He's just better at hiding the cracks. Then I guess we keep going anyway. Because the alternative is letting them win. His smile is small, sad, and somehow the most honest thing I've seen from him. Yeah, that's what I tell myself too. We're 2 blocks from the Starlight when Teresa's voice crackles through the radio. We've got company? 2 vehicles, professional team, heading toward the motel from the east. ETA 3 minutes. Hails people, or worse. Vincent floors it. The car lurches forward, Chicago streets blurring past. We screech into the motel parking lot just as 2 black SUVs pull in from the opposite side. David Chen is visible through a second-floor window, pacing, phone pressed to his ear. He sees the SUVs. His face goes white. Then he sees us. For one terrible second, our eyes meet across the parking lot. I see his fear, his regret, his understanding that whatever choices brought him here, they've finally run out of road. He mouths 2 words, "I'm sorry." Then the window explodes in gunfire, glass and wood and the end of any chance we had at answers, shattering into 1,000 irretrievable pieces. Vincent's hand clamps on my shoulder, pulling me down behind the car door as bullets punch through the motel's second-floor wall like paper. The sound is nothing like movies. Sharper, uglier, final. Glass rains down in glittering shards that catch the afternoon sun, beautiful and terrible. David drops out of sight. Everything inside me screams to run toward him, to pull him out of the line of fire, to save the man who was kind when kindness was rare. But Vincent's grip is iron, and his voice in my ear is the only thing keeping me tethered to logic instead of instinct. Stay down, don't move. His security team materializes from nowhere, Teresa and 3 others, moving with military precision. They fan out, weapons drawn but not firing. Vincent's people don't shoot first. I'm learning that about him. He operates in the space between legal and lethal, choosing carefully which line to cross. The shooters aren't as careful. Another volley tears through David's room. Then silence. Heavy. Wrong. The kind that comes after violence has finished speaking. One of the SUVs peels out, tires screaming. The other follows, gone in seconds, leaving behind cordite smoke and the certainty that someone just died. David. I'm moving before I can think, before Vincent can stop me. Up the exterior stairs, legs shaking, grandmother's cross cold against my racing heart. The door to room 214 hangs open, splintered. Inside is chaos, overturned furniture, bullet holes mapping constellations of violence across cheap wallpaper, and blood. So much blood, dark and spreading across worn carpet, but no body. Teresa appears beside me, weapon still drawn, eyes scanning. He's gone. He was here. I saw him. He escaped. She points to the bathroom window, shattered outward. Fire escape. Smart, scared, but smart. Vincent enters, surveys the damage with an expression I can't read. Then he kneels by the blood, touches it with 2 fingers, studies the color, the consistency. Shoulder wound, maybe. He'll need medical attention. He stands, pulls out his phone. Hospitals, urgent cares, anywhere someone might show up bleeding. I want eyes on every location within a 20-mile radius. He won't go to a hospital. I'm surprised by the certainty in my voice. He knows they'll be watching. He'll find someone who asks fewer questions. Vincent looks at me. Really looks like he's recalibrating what I'm capable of understanding. Who? Maya. She loves him. She'll help him even knowing what he's done. Teresa is already dialing. I'll have a team at her apartment in 5 minutes. No. Vincent's voice stops her. No team, just us. We push too hard, he bolts again. We need him to feel safe enough to stay put. He just got shot at by professionals and jumped out a 2nd-story window. Teresa's tone is dry. I don't think he's feeling safe. Then we offer him the only thing more powerful than safety. Vincent's eyes find mine. We offer him redemption. The word lands strange. Redemption for betrayal? Forgiveness for putting Marcus in a crosshairs? My parents taught me about justice, about accountability, about how some sins don't get absolution. But they also taught me that broken people do broken things. And sometimes the only way forward is through understanding instead of vengeance. You think he'll talk? I think he's terrified. And terrified people make choices. They either run until they can't, or they turn and fight. Vincent pauses. We need to make fighting look like the better option. An hour later, we're parked outside Maya's apartment in Pilsen. It's a walk up above a panaderia, the kind of place where rent is just low enough to afford and just high enough to feel like you're failing. I know because I lived in a dozen places exactly like it before the Silver Crown. How do you want to play this? Vincent asks. I go in alone. You and Teresa stay in the car. Emily. He won't talk to you. Your power. Authority. Everything he's spent 6 months betraying. But me? I touch the cross at my throat. I'm the janitor whose brother he endangered. If anyone has the right to demand answers, it's me. Vincent's jaw tightens. He doesn't like it, but he nods. 10 minutes. You're not down in 10. We come up. Deal. The stairs smell like cooking oil and old paint. Maya's apartment is at the top. Door unlocked, stupid or desperate. Maybe both. I push it open slowly. Maya? It's Emily. From the coffee shop. Silence. Then quietly. Go away. I can't do that. I step inside, hands visible, non-threatening. Is he here? She appears from the bedroom, tear-streaked, defiant. If I say yes, what happens? I talk to him. That's all. No violence, no arrests, just conversation. You're lying. Everyone's lying. David said people would come, that they'd promise safety and deliver bullets. David's right to be scared. I move closer, voice gentle. But I'm not here to hurt him. I'm here because the people who shot at him today, they're not going to stop. And the only way he survives this is if he helps us stop them first. Us. Her laugh is bitter. You mean that man in the car outside? The one who owns everything and everyone? I mean me. Just me. A girl whose parents died in a suspicious accident, whose brother got photographed like a target. Who thought David Chen was one of the good ones until I learned there are no good ones, just people trying to survive. I pause. So, yes, I want answers, but I also want him to live long enough to give them. Something shifts in her expression. Maya Torres is young, but she's not naive. She understands the math. David is worth more alive than dead, but only if he cooperates. He's bleeding. A lot. I don't know how to... Let me see him. She hesitates. Then leads me to the bedroom. David is on the bed, shirt off, left shoulder wrapped in towels soaked through with blood. His face is gray pale, sheened with sweat. When he sees me, he actually flinches. Emily, I'm so sorry. I never meant... Marcus, I never wanted... But you did. The words come out flat. You gave them his school address, his schedule, everything they needed to hurt him. I didn't know they'd go after him. I swear. I thought... You thought what? That stealing from Vincent, feeding Hale information, wouldn't have consequences. I kneel beside the bed, forcing him to look at me. My brother is 16. He's brilliant and kind, and he still believes people are basically good. And you put a target on him. David's eyes fill with tears. I was in debt. Gambling. Stupid choices. Hale offered money. Said all I had to do was pass along some information. It seemed harmless. Just numbers. Schedules. I didn't know about the bigger plan until my parents' names came up. He goes still. How did you... Daniel Morrison, union organizer who disappeared the night before my parents' accident. His name is in Hale's files. Connected to you. I didn't know. God, Emily, I didn't know about your parents. When I realized what Hale was doing, the pattern, I wanted out. But by then I was in too deep. So you kept going. Kept feeding him information. Kept choosing your survival over everyone else's. Yes. His voice breaks. And I hate myself for it. Every day. Every choice. I hate what I became. The confession should feel like victory. Instead, it feels like staring at my own reflection in a cracked mirror. How many choices did I make that felt like survival but were really just cowardice? How many times did I stay silent when speaking up might have saved someone? David, I need you to listen carefully. The people who shot at you today, they weren't police. They weren't federal agents. They were Hale's cleaners. He's eliminating loose ends. I know. His laugh is ragged. That's why I ran. I have evidence. Recordings, documents, everything. Insurance, I thought. Turns out insurance only works if you live long enough to use it. Then use it. Give it to Vincent. Testify. Help us take Hale down before he takes you down. And then what? I go to prison? Witness protection in some nowhere town where I spend the rest of my life looking over my shoulder. Maybe, I won't lie, I don't know what happens next, but I know what happens if you don't. You die. Maya dies. And Hale moves on to his next victim. Maya makes a sound, half sob, half protest. David reaches for her hand, and the gesture is so tender, so human, that I remember, even people who betray you are still people, still capable of love, still worth saving, even when you're not sure they deserve it. Where's the evidence? I ask quietly. David hesitates. Then, storage unit, South Loop, Unit 247, key is... His phone buzzes. We all freeze. He looks at the screen and his face drains of what little color remained. It's Hale. Don't answer. He says if I don't, he'll assume I'm cooperating with Vincent, and he'll make sure everyone I care about pays for it. Maya's hand flies to her mouth. I think of Marcus, safe in Evanston, but for how long? How many people does Hale have watching, waiting, ready to pull triggers the moment David makes the wrong choice? Put it on speaker. Vincent's voice from the doorway. He ignored the 10-minute rule, and I'm grateful. Let's hear what he has to say. David's hand shakes as he answers. Hello? David. Hale's voice is smooth, cultured, the kind that belongs in boardrooms and country clubs. I'm disappointed. We had an arrangement. You broke it. I was shot at. Your people tried to kill me. Those weren't my people. Someone else is playing this game, David. Someone who wants you dead before you can tell your story. I'm actually calling to help. The lie is beautiful, almost believable. David wants to believe it. I can see the desperate hope in his eyes. How do I know that? Because I'm offering you a way out. Meet me, tonight, Millennium Park, by the Bean. I'll have your money, all of it, what I owe plus severance. You disappear. I never hear from you again. Clean break. That's a trap, Maya whispers. Of course it's a trap, but what choice do I have? David looks at Vincent. If I don't go, he comes here, finds Maya, finds... You're not going. Vincent's voice is absolute. But we are. Hale's voice sharpens. Who's there with you, David? Silence. Terrible. Confirming silence. I see. So you did run to Morello. How predictable. Hale sighs. Here's how this works. Then, you have until midnight. Bring me everything you took, every recording, every document. Or I start with the girl, then the janitor's brother, then anyone else who made the mistake of trusting you. The line goes dead. The room is quiet except for David's ragged breathing and Maya's suppressed sobs. Vincent pulls out his phone, already planning, already strategizing. Teresa appears, ready for orders. But I'm stuck on one thing Hale said. Someone else is playing this game. Vincent. He looks at me. If Hale didn't send the shooters, who did? His expression goes dark. Someone who wants Hale's empire as much as we want to destroy it. Someone who sees David as either a witness or a weapon, depending on who gets to him first. So we're not just fighting Hale. No, we're fighting whoever's trying to take his place. Vincent's voice is grim, which means the board just got a lot more complicated. David tries to sit up, winces. There's something else. Something I didn't tell Hale. About your organization, Vincent. About who's really been feeding him information. What do you mean? I wasn't the only mole. David's voice drops to barely a whisper. There's someone higher up. Someone with access to everything. I was just the visible one, the expendable one. They used me as cover while they... He stops. Looks at the window. His face goes white. They're here. I turn. Through the window, I see them. 3 figures in the street below, looking up at Maya's apartment. Not Hale's people. These are different. Military posture, professional calm. And one of them is holding up a phone, showing us the screen. Even from here, I can see what's displayed. Live footage of Marcus. In the safe house, asleep, vulnerable. The message is clear. We can reach anyone, anytime. Vincent's phone buzzes. Unknown number. He answers, face hardening as he listens. Then he looks at me, and I see something I've never seen in his eyes before. Fear. They have someone inside my protection detail. He says each word carefully, like they might explode. The safe house location was compartmentalized. Only 3 people knew where Marcus was. Who? Teresa. His head of security? Me. And he doesn't finish. Doesn't have to. Because I suddenly understand why David said there was someone higher up. Why the betrayal goes deeper than fraud and stolen information. Someone in Vincent's inner circle isn't just working for Hale. They're working for whoever wants to replace him. And they've been using all of us, David, me, Vincent, as pieces in a game we didn't even know we were playing. Teresa's phone rings. She answers, listens, and her expression shifts from professional to stricken. The safe house just went dark. All communications down, teams not responding. My world tilts. Marcus, my brother, my responsibility, my entire reason for surviving the last 2 years. We need to go, now. My voice doesn't sound like mine. We need to get to him before... It's too late. The voice comes from the apartment doorway. A woman I don't recognize steps inside, gun drawn but lowered. Professional, calm, regretful. Marcus Parker is already gone. Extracted 7 minutes ago. He's safe, unharmed, and being held as collateral until we finish our conversation. Vincent moves in front of me instinctively. Who are you? Someone who's been cleaning up your messes for 5 years while you played at being legitimate. She smiles. And it's winter cold. My name is Agent Sarah Vega, FBI, and Vincent Morello. You're under arrest for racketeering, corruption, and conspiracy to commit murder. But first, she looks directly at me. First, Emily Parker is going to help me find evidence that will take down both Hale and Morello. Because the only way she sees her brother alive again is if she chooses a side. The room freezes. Vincent. Hale. The FBI. 3 different kinds of power, all demanding loyalty I haven't agreed to give. And Marcus, my brilliant, innocent brother, caught in the middle because I couldn't stay invisible. Agent Vega holsters her weapon. You have 10 seconds to decide, Emily. Work with me, or I walk out and your brother becomes another casualty of Chicago's war for power. Choose. 10 seconds. That's what Agent Vega gives me to choose between the man who saved me and the system that failed my parents. Between Vincent's dangerous protection and federal promises that taste like ash before they're even spoken. I don't choose. Not yet. Prove he's alive. Vega's eyebrow lifts. Respect or irritation, I can't tell. She pulls out her phone, turns the screen toward me. Video feed, timestamped 3 minutes ago. Marcus sitting in a clean room, confused but unharmed, talking to someone off camera. His voice comes through tinny but real. I don't understand why I can't call my sister. The feed cuts. Vega pockets the phone. Satisfied. No, but I'll work with that. I look at Vincent. His expression is carefully blank, but I see the calculation behind it. Already planning, already strategizing how to turn this. What do you want? David's evidence. Everything Hale has done. Everyone he's paid off. Every property he's stolen. She glances at David, still bleeding on Maya's bed. And Vincent's cooperation in testifying against Hale's network? You're FBI and you're making deals with a man you just arrested. Teresa's voice is ice. I'm FBI and I'm tired of watching powerful men destroy this city while hiding behind lawyers and shell corporations. Vega's composure cracks slightly. And underneath, I see something familiar. Exhaustion mixed with rage. The look of someone who's fought a system designed to protect the guilty. Hale's operation goes beyond fraud. Human trafficking, drug distribution, 3 murders we can prove, probably a dozen we can't. But he's insulated, untouchable, until now. And Vincent? I ask quietly. What happens to him? That depends on what he gives me, and whether he can prove his hands are cleaner than I think they are. Vincent finally speaks, voice measured and cold. I want immunity. Full cooperation in exchange for complete protection. For myself, my people, and the Parkers. You don't get to negotiate. Yes, I do. Because without me, you have a mid-level operative who's bleeding out and a janitor with a notebook. With me, you have access to networks, information, and leverage that will bury Hale and everyone in his pocket. He steps forward. So here's my offer. I give you Hale. You give me immunity and you return Marcus Parker within the hour. Or I lawyer up, this entire operation collapses, and we all lose except the people who deserve to burn. The room holds its breath. Vega studies Vincent like he's an equation she's trying to solve. Dangerous variables, unknown outcomes. 1 hour. She finally says, David's evidence, your full testimony, and Emily's cooperation. In exchange, Marcus is returned safely and we'll discuss immunity terms. Discuss isn't good enough. It's all you're getting. Her voice hardens. You're a criminal asking for clemency while holding all the cards. I'm giving you a chance to be something else. Take it or leave it. Vincent looks at me. The question in his eyes is clear. Trust her. I think about my parents, about the union representatives who promised protection and delivered nothing, about systems that failed us, about every authority figure who looked the other way while good people died. The FBI didn't save my family. The police didn't investigate. The city didn't care. But Vincent did. A criminal with cleaner hands than most cops I've met. We do it. But I go with you to get Marcus. Non-negotiable. Vega considers, nods. Fine. But you wear a wire. Everything we discuss, everything you observe, it's evidence. Then Vincent comes too. Emily! Vincent starts. No, I cut him off, and my voice is steel wrapped in exhaustion. You don't get to protect me from this anymore. You want my cooperation? You get all of me, including the parts that don't trust anyone in this room. Something shifts in Vincent's expression, surprise bleeding into something that looks dangerously like pride. Vega makes a call. 5 minutes later, we're in an unmarked sedan heading north, Teresa and 2 FBI agents following in a second car. David and Maya stay behind with protection, or surveillance, depending on your perspective. The storage unit key sits in my pocket, cold and small and worth more than everything I own. Where is he? I ask. Safe house in Evanston. Different location from before. Vega drives with the calm efficiency of someone who's done this 1,000 times. My team extracted him the moment we confirmed the original location was compromised. Compromised by who? That's what you're going to help me figure out. She glances in the rear view at Vincent. How many people in your organization have access to protection protocols? 4. Teresa, my head of security. James, the driver. Michael Chen, my information specialist. And myself. Michael Chen, related to David? Cousin. Vincent's jaw tightens. But Michael's been with me for 8 years. Vetted, loyal, never given me reason to doubt. Family makes you vulnerable. Vega's voice is almost gentle. It's always family that breaks you. I think about Marcus, about how loving him makes me capable of anything. Courage or compromise, heroism or horror. She's right. Love is the crack in your armor that everyone learns to exploit. We pull up to a house that looks aggressively suburban. Trim lawn, basketball hoop, minivan in the driveway. The kind of place where secrets go to hide in plain sight. Vega leads us to the door. Inside, Marcus sits at a kitchen table with a female agent, doing homework like his life hasn't just been upended. When he sees me, his face crumples with relief. What's going on? They said you were in danger, that they needed to move me, but nobody will tell me. I wrap him in a hug that probably cracks his ribs. He's warm and solid and alive, and for one moment the rest of the world can burn as long as he's okay. I'm here. You're safe. That's all that matters right now. But what about later? I pull back, force a smile. I promise I'll explain everything later. Right now, I just need you to trust me. He nods, and the faith in his eyes destroys me. 16 years old, and he still believes I can fix everything. I wish I had his certainty. Vega gives us 10 minutes. I spend them pretending everything is fine, asking about calculus homework and whether he's eaten, normal sister things that feel like lies when guns are waiting outside and my entire life is balanced on a federal agent's promise. When we leave, Marcus stays behind with protection that might be real or might be leverage. I don't know anymore. The lines between safety and captivity are too blurred to distinguish. In the car, Vega hands me a wire, small, sophisticated, invisible under my jacket. From now on, everything is recorded. Everything you hear, everyone you meet. You're my eyes inside Vincent's world. I'm not a spy. No, you're a witness. But in this city, they're the same thing. We drive to the storage unit in silence. It's one of those places where people keep the things they can't fit in their lives. Furniture from failed marriages, boxes of memories too painful to display. David's unit is climate-controlled, expensive. Inside, file boxes, external hard drives, a laptop that's probably worth more than my rent. Vincent opens the first box. Inside are documents that read like a roadmap to hell: property seizures, false inspections, families displaced, businesses destroyed. Hale's fingerprints are everywhere, but carefully obscured. Lawyers, shell companies, deniability stacked like armor. This isn't enough. Vega scans the documents. It's circumstantial, good for building a case, but not enough to arrest. Then we look deeper. I open another box, more files, more pain preserved in paper. Then something else, a folder marked with my parents' names. The world stops. I open it with hands that forget how to be steady. Inside, accident reports, brake line analysis, insurance documents, and beneath those, something that steals my breath. Emails between Daniel Morrison and Richard Hale, dated 3 days before my parents died. The union vote needs to fail, permanently. Make sure the organizers understand the cost of defiance. Morrison's response: understood. Arranging mechanical failure will look accidental. My parents' murder. Documented. Confirmed. The thing I knew, but could never prove. Sitting in a storage unit because David Chen kept insurance files on a man who traffics in death. Emily. Vincent's voice, soft and close. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't bring them back. Sorry doesn't give Marcus his parents or me the last 2 years of grief. But it does confirm that I was right. That my instincts, the ones that told me to count, to document, to never trust the official story, were correct. Hale killed them. Yes. Vega's voice is careful. And this is enough. With David's testimony and these emails, we can build a murder conspiracy case. Morrison will flip to save himself. The whole network unravels. Good. The word comes out hollow. I should feel victorious. Instead, I feel exhausted. Like I've been carrying this weight so long that its absence leaves me unbalanced. We load everything into Vega's car. The evidence of Hale's empire. The proof of my parents' murder. The ammunition to destroy a man who thought himself untouchable. Vincent works silently beside me, and I realize he already knew. Maybe not the specifics, but the shape of it. That's why he helped me. Not just because Craig assaulted me, but because he saw my parents' names in Hale's web and understood I was collateral damage in a war that started before I was old enough to fight. Why didn't you tell me? I asked quietly. Because you deserve to find out on your own terms. He closes the trunk. And because some truths people need to discover themselves, or they'll never believe them. Very philosophical for a criminal. I prefer morally flexible entrepreneur. His smile is small, sad, but yes, I'm a criminal. Just one who tries to hurt the right people. Vega's phone buzzes. She answers, listens, and her expression shifts from professional to alarmed. When? She's already moving toward the car. Lock it down. Nobody in or out. What happened? Vincent demands. David Chen just died. Vega's voice is tight. Bled out in Maya's apartment 20 minutes ago. My agents tried to save him, but he was stable when we left. Teresa's voice crackles through the radio. I checked the wound myself. It wasn't fatal. It wasn't the wound. Vega's driving now, fast and focused. Preliminary says poison. Something in his system that mimicked blood loss but was actually shutting down his organs. The implications land like hammer blows. David was poisoned. Before we got to him, before the shooting, someone wanted him dead slowly enough that he could talk, but quickly enough that he wouldn't survive to testify. Hale? I ask. Hale doesn't work that way. Vincent's voice is grim. He's direct, bullets and threats. This is someone else, someone patient, someone inside your organization. Vega glances at him. Someone who knew we'd find David, who wanted him to give us just enough information to look like cooperation, then die before he could name names. We pull up to Maya's apartment. Police cars everywhere. Yellow tape. Neighbors gathering. Inside, controlled chaos. Forensics. Detectives. Agents processing a crime scene that's still warm. David's body is covered. Maya sits in the corner, shock-pale and shaking. An agent tries to question her, but she's not speaking, not seeing, just staring at the place where someone she loved died while surrounded by people who were supposed to keep him alive. I know that look. I wore it for months after my parents. The 1,000-yard stare of someone whose world just proved itself fundamentally unsafe. Vega confers with her team. Vincent stands apart, phone pressed to his ear, voice low and urgent. Teresa inventories the crime scene with professional detachment that doesn't quite hide her anger. I sit next to Maya. Don't speak. Just sit. Sometimes presence is all you can offer. He said he was sorry. Her voice is barely audible. Right before, he took my hand and said he was sorry for all of it. Then he just stopped breathing. I'm sorry. Everyone's sorry. But it doesn't bring him back. She finally looks at me, and her eyes are ancient with fresh grief. He was trying to do the right thing. At the end, he was trying to fix it. I know. Does that count for anything? I think about redemption, about whether good intentions erase bad actions, about my parents, about David's betrayal, about Vincent's criminal empire built on trying to be better than his father. I don't know. But it should. Vega approaches, crouches to our level. Maya, I need to ask you some questions. About who visited David today, who touched him, what he ate or drank. Nobody. Just Emily and Vincent and that other woman. Teresa. What about before we arrived? A delivery guy. Food from the Thai place downstairs. David was hungry, so I ordered. Her face crumbles. Oh God. The food. It was the food. What did he order? Pad Thai, his favorite. I didn't eat any. I'm vegetarian. It was just for him. Vega is already on her phone, ordering the restaurant locked down, but I'm stuck on something else. How did the delivery guy know which apartment? Did you put it in the order? Maya shakes her head. I always pick up, but David said he was too weak, so I called instead. Gave them the address? The restaurant's phone would have caller ID. Vincent's voice, sharp with realization. Anyone monitoring David's cell could have intercepted the call, knew exactly where he was. Michael Chen has access to our cellular surveillance systems. Teresa's voice is careful, weighted. He would have been able to track David's location the moment Maya called. Vincent's expression goes dark, dangerous. Get Michael on the phone. Now. Teresa dials, waits, shakes her head. Not answering. His location services are off. Home address? Lincoln Park. I can have a team there and... No team. Vincent's voice is ice. Just us. If Michael's the mole, he's already running. We need to move before he disappears completely. Vega nods. I'll coordinate with CPD for backup. But Vincent, I know. No vigilante justice. No disappearing witnesses. He meets her eyes. I'm not my father. I don't solve problems by erasing them. See that you don't. We leave Maya with victim services and agents who will probably fail to comfort her the way everyone failed to comfort me. Another casualty in Chicago's endless war between power and people. The drive to Lincoln Park is tense. Vincent makes calls, issuing orders in a language I'm starting to understand. The careful syntax of someone who operates in legal gray areas but tries to stay just visible enough to claim legitimacy. Michael Chen's apartment is a high-rise with views of the lake and rent that suggests his salary is supplemented by something less official. The doorman recognizes Vincent, lets us up without question. Money and power are their own skeleton keys in this city. The apartment door is unlocked. Wrong. Everything about it is wrong. Vincent enters first, weapon drawn. I didn't even see him pull it. Teresa follows, professional and precise. Vega and I bring up the rear, and I'm suddenly acutely aware that I'm unarmed and untrained and way too deep in a situation that could end with more bodies. The apartment is pristine. Too pristine. Like someone cleaned it knowing they'd never return. He's gone. Teresa holsters her weapon. Clothes, electronics, documents, everything personal is missing. Check his computer. Vincent's already moving toward the office. He's smart, but nobody's perfect. There'll be something. We find it in the recycling bin. A single piece of paper, torn but readable. A receipt from a charter flight service. Departure time, tonight, 11 p.m. Destination, São Paulo. He's running. I state the obvious because someone needs to... No. Vincent studies the receipt. He's being extracted. Hale probably arranged it the moment David got shot. Tie up loose ends. Eliminate witnesses. Disappear anyone who could testify. So we go to the airport. Vega's already on her phone. I'll have TSA detain him the moment he tries to board. He won't use his real name. Teresa sounds tired. Michael's been running counterintelligence for Vincent for 8 years. He knows how to disappear. We're out of time and options, standing in an empty apartment that smells like betrayal and furniture polish. Michael Chen, Vincent's trusted information specialist, David's cousin, the man who had access to everything, is hours away from escaping consequences. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. I answer without thinking. Hello? Emily Parker. The voice is smooth, cultured, unmistakable. Richard Hale. I believe we have much to discuss. Everyone freezes. Vincent's hand signals and Vega's already tracing the call. But I know it won't matter. Men like Hale don't make mistakes this obvious unless they want to be found. I have nothing to say to you. On the contrary, you have my property, documents, evidence, insurance files that don't belong to you. I'd like them returned. They're with the FBI. You're done. Am I? His laugh is gentle, almost paternal. Emily, you're a smart girl. Surely you've realized by now that evidence means nothing without witnesses. And your witnesses keep dying in unfortunate ways. The threat is clear. Crystalline. David's dead. Michael's running. Anyone who can connect Hale to his crimes is being systematically eliminated. What do you want? A meeting. You, me, and Vincent Morello. Tonight, Navy Pier, by the Ferris wheel, midnight, come alone or don't come at all. That's a trap. Of course it's a trap. But it's also an opportunity. You want your brother to live beyond tomorrow? You want Maya Torres to see her next birthday? Then you'll come, and you'll bring what's mine. The line goes dead. Vega curses, phone pressed to her ear. Call came from a burner, routed through 6 towers, untraceable. He wants a meet. Vincent's voice is calm, but I see the calculation in his eyes. Tonight, Navy Pier. Absolutely not. Vega looks at me. Emily, you're not trained for this. You go to that meeting, you die. Maybe, but if I don't go, he kills Marcus and Maya, and everyone else he's decided is collateral damage in whatever game he's playing. Then we set a trap of our own. Vega's already planning. Wire you properly, position a tactical team, turn his trap into ours. He'll see it coming. Teresa shakes her head. Hale didn't build an empire by being stupid. He knows we'll bring backup. So what do you suggest? Vega demands. We give him what he wants. Vincent looks at me, and there's something in his expression I can't quite name. Emily goes to the meeting, but not as bait, as the one setting terms. That's insane. That's chess. He cuts off Vega's protest. Hale thinks he's controlling the board. He's offering a meet because he believes he's eliminated his vulnerabilities, but he's forgotten something. What? Vincent's smile is winter sharp, dangerous as a blade. He's forgotten that the most dangerous piece on the board isn't the queen or the king. It's the pawn who learned to think for herself. He looks at me. Emily knows things he doesn't. She's documented, counted, seen patterns even I missed. She's not a victim anymore. She's a weapon, and it's time we let her cut. The words should terrify me. Instead, they settle like truth. I spent 2 years being invisible, being safe, being the girl who survived by staying small and quiet and easily overlooked. Maybe it's time to be dangerous instead. Okay? My voice is steady, certain. I'll meet him, but we do it my way. Vega starts to protest. Vincent raises a hand. Let her talk. And for the first time since Craig Dawson grabbed my arm in that hallway, I feel like someone's actually listening. Not protecting me, not manipulating me, just listening. I pull out my phone, open the photos, show them the evidence I've been collecting since this started. Not just Craig's fraud, but everything after. Texts, photos, recordings I made without permission because I learned early that proof is power. Hale wants his evidence back, I say quietly. But what he doesn't know is that I've already copied everything. Multiple backups, cloud storage, encrypted drives, physical copies hidden in 3 different locations. He can kill me, kill David, kill everyone. But the truth is already out there, immortal, untouchable. When did you... Vincent starts. The first night. When Teresa gave me the encrypted phone, I'm a janitor who learned to be paranoid because paranoia keeps you breathing. So I backed everything up before I ever agreed to help. I look at Vega. If something happens to me, those files go public, automatically. To every major news outlet, every law enforcement agency, every person I've designated as a dead man's switch. The room is silent. Then Vega laughs, short, sharp, almost admiring. You're either brilliant or suicidal. I'm done being a victim. I meet each of their eyes in turn. Hale thinks he can scare me into submission. Vincent thinks he can protect me into compliance. You think you can wire me into being your informant. But here's the truth. I'm the only one in this room who has nothing left to lose. Marcus is already at risk. My parents are already dead. I've already lost everything that matters. Emily. Vincent's voice is careful. No, I'm not finished. I step forward and my voice is steel. I'll meet Hale. I'll wear your wire. I'll get him on record making threats, confessing crimes, whatever you need. But afterward, we're done. All of you. The FBI, Vincent's organization, all of it. I take my brother and we disappear. New city, new names, new lives, and you let us go. That's the deal. I can't agree to that, Vega says immediately. Then Marcus dies and your case collapses. Your choice. We stare at each other, 2 women who've learned that the only real power is the willingness to walk away from everything. Finally, Vega nods. If you get Hale on tape confessing to murder, conspiracy, and racketeering, I'll personally arrange your disappearance. Full WITSEC protocols, new identities, the works. And Vincent? He's quiet for a long moment. Then, I'll let you go. Even though letting you walk away is the hardest thing I've had to do since my father died. The admission hangs between us, weighted, honest, dangerous as a confession. I should ignore it. Should focus on survival, on Marcus, on getting through the next 6 hours alive. But I see Vincent Morello clearly now. Not the powerful crime boss or the dangerous protector. Just a man who inherited an empire he didn't want and has been trying to be better than his bloodline ever since. Thank you, I say quietly. Don't thank me yet. He turns away, voice rough. First you have to survive midnight. We spend the next 4 hours planning. Vega's team sets up surveillance, maps Navy Pier, identifies exits and sniper positions. Teresa reviews security protocols. Vincent makes calls that sound innocuous but probably move pieces on boards I can't see. And I sit with my notebook and write a letter to Marcus, just in case. If you're reading this, I didn't make it back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you better. Couldn't give you the life Mom and Dad wanted for you. But Marcus, you're brilliant and kind and good in ways this city tried to beat out of both of us. Don't let them win. Don't let my death make you small or scared or invisible. Be loud, be certain, be everything I couldn't be because I was too busy surviving. I love you, Always. I seal it. Give it to Teresa. If I don't come back, make sure he gets this. She takes it without argument. Maybe she understands. Maybe she's just professional enough not to promise things she can't control. At 11:30 p.m., we head to Navy Pier. The city glitters around us. Chicago at night, beautiful and brutal, full of people who have no idea that empires are falling in the shadows between streetlights. The pier is nearly empty. Too late for tourists. Too cold for anyone without purpose. The Ferris wheel turns slowly, illuminated like a promise or a threat. I'm wired thoroughly enough that Vega jokes I'm probably transmitting to satellites. Vincent walks me to the meeting point, then stops. Emily, I need you to know something. Save it for after. When I'm alive. No. Listen. His voice is intense, urgent. If this goes wrong, if Hale tries something, you run. Don't be brave. Don't try to fight. Just run and let me handle it. I thought we agreed I'm a weapon now. You're a woman who deserves better than dying for someone else's war. He takes my hand, and the touch is electric. I've been fighting since I was old enough to understand what my father built. I'm tired, Emily. Tired of the violence and the compromises and the moral calculus of deciding which sins are acceptable. You made me remember that there's another way, a better way. Vincent, let me finish, please. He's never said please before. If I could go back, I'd stop Craig the first time he stole. I'd expose Hale before he killed your parents. I'd build something legitimate instead of inheriting something dark. But I can't. All I can do is try to be better than I was yesterday. And you make me want to be better. The confession breaks something in my chest. This isn't romance, it's recognition. Two people who've been fighting to survive finally seeing each other clearly in the wreckage. We're going to survive this. I say it with certainty I don't feel. Both of us. And then I'm taking Marcus and disappearing. And you're going to build that legitimate empire you keep talking about. Promise? Promise. He releases my hand, steps back, disappears into shadows where Vega's tactical team waits. I walk to the Ferris wheel alone. Richard Hale is already there. Tall, silver-haired, wearing a cashmere coat that probably costs more than everything I own. He looks exactly like his billboards. Distinguished, trustworthy, the kind of man who builds cities and destroys lives with equal efficiency. Emily Parker. He smiles. Thank you for coming. I didn't have a choice. Everyone has choices. You chose to count Craig's theft. You chose to trust Vincent Morello. You chose to investigate your parents' deaths instead of accepting the official story. His smile doesn't waver. All choices, all with consequences. You killed them. My parents. Daniel Morrison sabotaged their car on your orders. I protected my investment. He says it casually, like murder is a line item on a balance sheet. Your father's union threatened a project worth $200 million. I couldn't allow that. The Wire catches everything. His voice, his confession, the casual evil of a man who's never faced consequences. Why tell me this? Because you're going to die tonight, Emily. And before you do, I want you to understand something. You never mattered. Your parents didn't matter. All the people Vincent pretends to protect. None of you matter. This city belongs to people like me. People who understand that power is the only truth that survives. You're wrong, he laughs. Am I? Look around. I've been destroying neighborhoods for 20 years. I've displaced thousands. I've killed when necessary. And I'm still here, still powerful, still untouchable. Because the system protects me. Always has, always will. The FBI has your files, David's evidence, everything. David Chen is dead. Michael Chen is on a plane to Sao Paulo. And evidence without witnesses is just paper. He steps closer. I've already taken care of your brother. Special team extracted him from the FBI safe house 20 minutes ago. He's alive for now, but his continued existence depends entirely on your cooperation. The world tilts. Marcus. They have Marcus, Vega's voice in my ear, transmitted through the wire. He's bluffing. Marcus is secure. We have eyes on him. He's safe. But Hale pulls out a phone, shows me live footage. Marcus, gagged, tied to a chair, in a location I don't recognize. Real or manufactured. I can't tell. Can't breathe. Can't think past the image of my brother, my responsibility, my entire reason for surviving. Held hostage because I couldn't stay invisible. Here's what's going to happen. Hale's voice is patient, almost kind. You're going to give me every copy of those files. You're going to recant your testimony. You're going to disappear quietly. And maybe your brother lives. And if I don't, then I kill him slowly. Make you watch, then kill you. Then move on to Maya Torres and everyone else who thought they could stand against me. The Ferris wheel turns behind us. Chicago glitters. And I realize, this is the moment, the one my parents faced, the one every person who ever stood against power faces. Submit or fight, live small or die standing. I touch my grandmother's cross. Think of Marcus, of my parents, of Vincent watching from the shadows, ready to intervene but trusting me to handle this myself. Then I smile. No. Hale blinks. Excuse me? No. I'm not giving you anything. I'm not recanting. I'm not disappearing. I pull out my phone, show him the screen. Because while you were monologuing like a bad movie villain, I was live streaming this entire conversation to 17 different platforms. Every word, every threat, every confession, time-stamped, backed up, immortal. His expression shifts from confident to uncertain to murderous in 3 seconds. You're bluffing. Am I? Check Twitter. Hashtag Hale Confesses. 50,000 views already. Probably more by now. He grabs his phone, starts typing, goes white. You stupid bitch. You've just killed yourself and everyone you love. Maybe, but I've also destroyed you. My voice is steady, certain. By morning, every news outlet will have this. Every law enforcement agency, every person you've ever hurt. You wanted to make me understand that power protects power? I'm teaching you something else. Truth is louder than money, and once it's out, you can't kill it. No matter how many of us you silence. Hale's hand moves toward his jacket. Gun probably. I should run. Should let Vincent's team intervene. But I stand my ground because running is what I've been doing my whole life, and I'm done. I wouldn't. Vincent's voice, calm and close. He materializes from shadows with Vega and a dozen agents behind him. You're surrounded, Hale. And unlike you, I don't make threats I can't keep. Hale freezes, looks around, sees the tactical positions, the weapons, the absolute certainty that his game is over. This isn't legal. Whatever evidence you have is already viral. Vega steps forward. Richard Hale, you're under arrest for murder, conspiracy, racketeering, and about 15 other charges I'll read you on the way to booking. She pulls out handcuffs. You have the right to remain silent. I suggest you use it. They take him away. He goes quietly, the way powerful men do when they finally understand that money can't buy everything. His lawyers will try. He'll probably post bail. But the confession is out there now. Permanent, damaging, a stain that no PR campaign can wash clean. I watch him disappear into a federal vehicle. Feel nothing. No triumph. No relief. Just exhaustion and the fading adrenaline that kept me upright through his threats. Vincent appears at my side. That was incredibly stupid. I know. Also brilliant. I know that too. I look at him. Marcus. Is he really safe? Or was Hale telling the truth? He's safe. I just got confirmation. Vega's team never lost him. The footage Hale showed you was fabricated, probably from when Michael Chen still had access to our systems. The relief is physical. I sag slightly and Vincent's hand steadies me. Not controlling, just present. You kept your promise, I say quietly. I always do. He pauses. Emily, what you did tonight, live streaming the confession, that was insane, reckless. What I would have done, if I'd thought of it first. His smile is small, genuine. You weaponize truth. That takes courage. I'm not sure I have any more. You have plenty. You just hide it under expensive suits and careful planning? Maybe. Or maybe I've been hiding for so long I forgot what it looks like to stand in the light. He looks at the Ferris wheel, the city, the night. What now? Now I keep my end of the deal. I take Marcus and disappear. Start over somewhere. Hale's lawyers and Chicago's ghosts can't find us. And Vincent Morello? I look at him. Really look. This man who saved me, protected me, trusted me enough to let me be dangerous. this criminal with cleaner hands than most legitimately powerful men I've met. Vincent Morello stays in Chicago, builds his empire the right way, becomes the man his father should have been, alone. Maybe, for a while, I touch his arm gently, but you're stronger than you think. And someday, when the wars are over and the ghosts are quiet, maybe you'll find something worth more than power. I already found it. His voice is rough. I'm just not allowed to keep it. The moment stretches, heavy, charged, full of possibility and impossibility in equal measure. Then Vega approaches. Emily, we need to debrief. Get your statement. Start WITSEC protocols. I know. I step back from Vincent, from the dangerous pull of his gravity. Give me 5 minutes. She nods, walks away. Vincent and I stand in silence. Two people who met in violence and found something that might have been understanding or partnership, or the beginning of something neither of us have words for. Thank you, I finally say, for seeing me, when everyone else learned to look past me. Thank you for reminding me why any of this matters. He turns to leave, then stops. Emily, when you disappear, when you start your new life, be loud, be certain. Don't hide who you are anymore. I'll try. Good. Because the world needs more people like you, brave enough to count when everyone else looks away. He walks into the darkness, surrounded by his security team, returning to his empire and his endless war to be better than his bloodline. I watch him go. Feel something that might be loss, or might just be exhaustion. Then I pull out my phone. Check the live stream, 2 million views now. Trending nationally. Comments flooding in, shock, anger, demands for justice. The truth, viral and spreading, exactly like I planned. My phone buzzes. Text from Teresa. Marcus is asking for you. Should we bring him to you or you to him? I smile. Type back, I'm coming to him, where I always belong. I start walking toward the FBI vehicles, toward debriefing and witness protection and whatever comes next. Behind me, the Ferris wheel turns, Chicago glitters, and somewhere in the city, my brother waits, alive, safe, unknowing that his sister just burned down an empire to keep him breathing. I'm halfway to the vehicles when I hear it, shouting, gunfire, chaos erupting from the direction Vincent went. I turn, see his security team scattering, see Vincent on the ground, see blood. Time stops. Vega is already running, weapon drawn, shouting orders. Tactical teams converge, but I'm frozen, watching as Teresa kneels beside Vincent, pressing hands to a wound I can't see from here but can imagine perfectly. Someone shot him. After everything. After Hale's arrest. After it should have been over. Michael Chen steps from shadows. Gun raised. Not in Sao Paulo. Here. Now. Finishing what he started. Vincent protected you. Teresa's voice, raw and furious. For 8 years he trusted you. And for 8 years I waited. Michael's voice is cold, empty. Hale promised me everything Vincent couldn't. Power. Real power. Not this pretend legitimacy bullshit. But then you all had to ruin it. Had to be heroes. His gun swings toward me. Starting with the janitor who couldn't stay invisible. He fires. I don't remember dropping. Don't remember the impact. Just sudden pain, the taste of copper, the world tilting sideways as Chicago's lights blur into abstract beauty. Vega's weapon discharges. Michael goes down, more shouting, more chaos. But all I can focus on is Vincent, 10 feet away, bleeding out on Navy Pier while his people swarm around him with medic training and useless hope. Our eyes meet across the concrete. And in that moment, I understand. We were never going to survive this. Not both of us. The cost of standing against power is always blood. Sometimes yours. Sometimes someone you've started to care about more than you should. His lips move. I can't hear him over the sirens and shouting, but I read the words, "You won?" Then EMTs block my view. Someone's cutting my jacket, checking vitals, asking questions I can't answer because my throat won't work and the pain is everywhere and nowhere. Marcus's voice, distant and panicked. Emmy, please. I want to tell him I'm okay. Want to promise it'll be fine. Want to do all the things older sisters do when their brothers are scared. But the darkness is coming fast, and all I can think is, I kept my promise. I stayed loud. I counted. I made them see me. And maybe that's enough. Maybe that's everything. The world fades to black with Marcus's voice calling my name and Vincent Morello's blood. Mixing with mine on cold concrete under Chicago stars we'll never see rise again. I wake up to the smell of disinfectant and the mechanical beep of monitors that mark time in heartbeats instead of seconds. Hospital. I'm alive. The realization comes with a flood of sensory information. Pain radiating from my left side. The scratch of cotton sheets against skin. Fluorescent lights too bright even through closed eyelids. Marcus is asleep in the chair beside my bed, his head tilted at an angle that'll give him a stiff neck, one hand stretched toward mine like he fell asleep mid-reach. 16 years old and he looks younger in sleep, vulnerable in ways he never lets show when he's awake. I count his breaths, habit, instinct, the only math that's ever really mattered. He's safe. I kept him safe. The door opens quietly. Teresa enters with coffee and the exhausted competence of someone who's been awake for days. When she sees my eyes open, something in her professional mask cracks. You're awake, not a question. Relief, maybe. Vincent. My voice is rust and gravel. Is he alive? Barely. She sits, and for the first time since I met her, she looks old, worn. Surgery took 9 hours. He lost a lot of blood, but he's stubborn, like someone else I know. The pain in my side sharpens when I try to sit up. Teresa's hand on my shoulder, gentle but firm, keeps me down. Michael, dead. Vega's shot was clean. He died at the scene. I should feel something. Triumph, maybe. Justice. But all I feel is tired. So deeply tired that even gratitude feels like lifting weight I wasn't built to carry. Hale? In federal custody? No bail this time. Your live stream was... Teresa almost smiles. It was brilliant and insane. Every news outlet in the country picked it up. By morning, 3 more victims came forward. Then a dozen. Then 50. She pauses. You didn't just expose him, Emily. You made it safe for everyone else to speak. The implications settle slowly. Hale's empire isn't just cracked, it's shattered. All because a janitor with a notebook decided to count sins instead of ignoring them. How long have I been out? 3 days. Bullet missed major organs but nicked something that bled internally. They had to go back in twice. She hands me a cup with a straw. Drink. Doctor's orders. The water tastes like metal and mercy. I sip carefully. Throat remembering how to work. Vega wants to talk to you. About WITSEC protocols. New identities for you and Marcus. And Vincent? Teresa's expression shifts. Something complicated passing behind her eyes. Vincent doesn't want you to wait. He said, she stops. Starts again. He said you've already sacrificed enough. That you should take Marcus and disappear before his world drags you further down. The words land like a blow disguised as kindness. Vincent protecting me even from his hospital bed. Pushing me away because he thinks that's what I need. Maybe he's right. Maybe loving someone, or whatever this fragile, dangerous thing between us is, means letting them go before they drown in your undertow. I need to see him. First. Before I disappear. Emily. Please. The word cracks. I need to say goodbye. Properly. Not like this. With intermediaries and good intentions. I need him to know I'm leaving because I choose to, not because he pushed me away. Teresa studies me. Then nods. He's in ICU. 2 floors up. Visiting hours are restricted, but she pulls out a visitor's badge. I can get you 15 minutes. That's all. Marcus stirs, eyes fluttering open. When he sees me awake, his face does something that makes my chest tight. Thank God. I thought... He doesn't finish. Just grabs my hand like I might disappear if he lets go. What happened? Nobody will tell me anything except that you were shot and some guy died and... I'm okay. The lie tastes familiar. Everything's okay now. Don't do that. His voice hardens. Don't lie to protect me. I'm not a kid anymore. I deserve the truth. He's right. 16, and still believing he's owed honesty in a world built on carefully constructed fictions. My parents raised him better than I have. They taught him that truth matters, that integrity isn't negotiable. I've just been teaching him survival. Okay. No more lies. I squeeze his hand. I exposed a corrupt developer who killed our parents. He tried to kill me. Someone stopped him. Now we're going into witness protection, new names, new city, new lives. We leave in 48 hours. His eyes widen. Process. Then, our parents, you found out what really happened? Yes, it wasn't an accident. Their brakes were sabotaged because Dad's union organizing threatened the wrong people. Marcus is quiet for a long time. I watch emotions flicker across his face. Grief. Rage. Something that might be relief that he wasn't crazy for suspecting. Finally. Good. I'm glad you made them pay. The darkness in his voice scares me. He sounds older, harder, like I've stolen something irreplaceable. His ability to believe the world is fundamentally fair. Marcus. No, it's good. He looks at me with eyes that suddenly seem ancient. You stopped hiding. You fought back. That's what Mom and Dad would have wanted. Maybe. Or maybe they would have wanted me to keep him innocent a little longer. To shield him from the knowledge that power protects itself, and justice is something you have to steal, not something freely given. I need to do something before we leave. Can you stay here? With Teresa? Where are you going? To say goodbye to someone. He sees something in my face, understands without words. The guy who protected us. Vincent Morello. Yes. Is he... Are you... No. We're not anything. Just two people who saw each other clearly in the chaos. I touch his cheek. I'll be back in an hour. Then we plan our new lives. Together. He nods. Lets me go, even though every instinct probably screams to hold tighter. Teresa escorts me to the elevator. My legs remember walking, but protest every step. The bullet wound pulls, stitches straining against movement. I'm wearing a hospital gown and grip socks, holding an IV pole like a lifeline, looking exactly like what I am, someone who survived but barely. The ICU is quiet, controlled, the kind of place where death visits and whispers and machines do the work of keeping souls tethered to failing bodies. Vincent's room is at the end, private, guarded by one of his security team who nods at Teresa and pretends not to see me. 15 minutes, Teresa says. I'll be right outside. I push through the door. Vincent lies in a bed that makes him look smaller than he is, surrounded by monitors and tubes and the mechanical proof that he's alive but fragile. His eyes are closed, face pale except for the shadow of stubble. Someone shot him because I made myself visible, because I dragged him into a war that should have been mine alone. I pull a chair close, sit carefully, pain radiating from my side. My hand finds his, warm, solid, real. His fingers twitch, eyes open slowly, focusing with effort. Emily. His voice is rough, damaged. You're awake. So are you. Disappointed? Terrified. The honesty escapes before I can dress it in something safer. I thought you died. On that pier. I thought I watched you bleed out because Michael Chen hated you for being better than him. He didn't hate me. Vincent's grip tightens slightly. He hated himself. I just reminded him of all his failures. Very philosophical for someone who nearly died. Near-death experiences make philosophers of us all. His attempt at a smile is weak but genuine. Teresa says you're leaving? Witsec? New life? Yes. In 2 days. Good. You should go. Take Marcus somewhere safe. Somewhere men like me don't exist. Men like you saved my life. Men like me also endangered it. He closes his eyes. I thought I could protect you. Turns out all I did was paint a target on your back. No. You gave me the tools to fight back. The resources. The support. Without you, I'd still be invisible, and Hale would still be destroying families. You would have found another way. Because that's who you are. Someone who can't ignore injustice, even when survival demands it. The words settle between us, weighted with understanding. He sees me. Really sees me. Not the victim, or the witness, or the pawn. The woman who counted sins because someone had to. Who stayed loud even when silence would have been safer. Vincent, I need to tell you something. Don't. His voice roughens. Don't say something that makes leaving harder than it already is. I'm not saying I love you. We both know this isn't that. But I need you to know. Meeting you changed me. You made me believe that power could be used for something other than destruction. That men born into violence can choose differently. Emily. Let me finish. Please. I lean closer and my voice drops to barely a whisper. You're going to survive this. You're going to heal. And when you do, I need you to promise me something. Build the empire you always talked about. The legitimate one. The one that protects people instead of exploiting them. Be the man your father couldn't be. And if I can't, if the darkness is too deep, then you try anyway. Because trying is how you prove you're different. His eyes glisten. Tears he won't shed, emotion he won't voice. Instead, he pulls my hand to his lips, kisses my knuckles gently. Wherever you go, whoever you become, stay loud. Emily Parker. Don't ever let them make you small again. I won't. I promise. We sit in silence. Two people who met in violence and found something that might have been love if circumstances were different. If he wasn't a criminal trying to go legitimate. If I wasn't a witness about to disappear. If the world allowed people like us to have happy endings instead of just survived ones, I should go. Marcus is waiting. One more thing. Vincent reaches for something on the bedside table. A small box. Teresa was supposed to give this to you if I didn't make it. But since I'm annoyingly alive, inside is a key. Simple, brass, attached to an address tag. What is this? A property, in your name, legally purchased, no strings. It's in Portland. Small house, good neighborhood, already paid off. For when witness protection ends and you need something that's actually yours. The gesture breaks something in me. He thought he was dying and still made arrangements to give me stability, security, a future. Vincent, I can't accept. Yes, you can. Because you deserve something permanent in a life that's been nothing but temporary. He pauses. And because I need to know that somewhere, you and Marcus are safe, even if I never see you again. Tears I've been holding finally spill over. I lean down carefully, mindful of his injuries, of my own, and kiss his forehead. Gentle, grateful. Goodbye. Thank you. For everything. For seeing me when I was invisible. For believing I was worth protecting. You were always worth it. He closes his eyes. Now go. Before I convince myself to ask you to stay. I stand. Walk toward the door, hand on the handle. I should leave, should walk away clean. But I turn back. Vincent Morello. When you build your empire, the good one, name it something that matters. Something that reminds you why any of this was worth it. What would you suggest? I think about my grandmother's cross, about my parents' union, about all the people who fought for dignity in a system designed to strip it away. The silver crown. Keep the name. But make it mean something different. Not luxury for the elite, opportunity for everyone. His smile is small, sad, genuine. I'll try. That's all anyone can do. I leave before I change my mind. Before I let myself imagine a world where staying is possible. Teresa is waiting in the hallway, and she doesn't ask what happened. Just walks me back to my room where Marcus waits with questions I'll answer honestly for the first time. 2 days later, Teresa drives us to a nondescript office building where Vega and her team have arranged our disappearance. New names. Sarah and Matthew Bennett. Mother and son. Relocated from Seattle for work. Backstory built from careful lies and forged documents. I'm not Emily Parker anymore. That girl died on Navy Pier. Or maybe she was never real to begin with. Just a ghost trying to survive in a city that eats the vulnerable. Sarah Bennett is who I become. Quieter. Careful, but not invisible. Never invisible again. We arrive in Portland on a Tuesday. The house Vincent left us is small, perfect, surrounded by trees that know nothing about Chicago or crime bosses, or the cost of choosing courage over silence. Marcus, Matthew now, explores with cautious optimism. New school, new friends, new chance. I stand in the kitchen and think about Vincent, healing in a hospital bed. About Teresa and Vega and everyone still fighting Chicago's endless war. About my parents, finally avenged but still gone. My phone buzzes. New number, unknown sender. The Silver Crown reopens next month. Employee-owned cooperative. Fair wages, ethical practices. Named in honor of a woman who taught me that real power means protecting the powerless. Thank you, Emily. For everything. VM. I delete the message immediately. WITSEC protocols. No contact with previous life. But I screenshot it first. Save it somewhere deep in encrypted folders where memories go to hide. Because some things are worth remembering, even when forgetting would be safer. That night, Marcus, Matthew, asks if I'm okay. If we're really safe now. If the running is over, I tell him yes. We're safe. The running is over. We can finally breathe. He believes me, goes to sleep peacefully, trusts that his sister wouldn't lie about something this important. But at 3 a.m., I wake to sounds, footsteps outside, a car idling too long in front of our house, shadows that don't belong. I check the locks, grab the phone Vega gave me for emergencies, dial with shaking hands. This is Sarah Bennett. Someone's watching the house. Vega's voice, alert despite the hour. Stay inside. Team is en route. ETA 8 minutes. Who found us? Hale's people. Someone from Vincent's organization? We don't know. But Emily? Sarah? My name is Sarah now. A pause. Then, Sarah, you need to prepare for the possibility that disappearing was never an option. Some wars follow you regardless of how far you run. The line stays open. I watch through curtains as a figure approaches our door. Tall, deliberate, unafraid. They knock 3 times, pause, 3 more. A pattern. Familiar. Something Vincent's security used. I open the door against every instinct, hand on the pepper spray Vega insisted I carry. Teresa stands on my porch, holding a folder and wearing an expression I can't read. We have a problem. Hale made bail. His lawyers found a technicality, something about the live stream being inadmissible without proper consent. She steps inside without invitation. He's out. And Emily, Sarah, he knows where you are. The world tilts. Marcus sleeps upstairs. Vincent is still recovering in Chicago. And Richard Hale, the man who killed my parents, who built an empire on exploitation, is free and hunting the woman who destroyed him. How long do we have? Hours, maybe less. Teresa opens the folder. Inside, plane tickets, new documents, a 3rd set of identities. Vega's arranging another extraction, but this time, it's permanent, deep cover. You and Marcus become people who never existed. And Vincent? Teresa's expression softens. He doesn't know. And he can't. Because if Hale thinks Vincent knows where you are, he'll use that connection to find you. So this is it. The real goodbye. Not the tender hospital scene with promises and possibilities, but this. Running in the night, becoming nobody, letting Vincent think I'm safe somewhere while I'm actually hunted. There's one other option, Teresa says quietly. We end this. Tonight. You testify in person, in court deposition that can't be dismissed as inadmissible. We expedite Hale's trial, put him away permanently before he finds you. That puts me on record. In public, makes me visible. Yes, but it also ends the running. You testify, he goes away forever, and you get to actually live instead of just surviving. The choice crystallizes, hide forever, or stand once more in the light and finish what I started on Navy Pier. I look at Teresa, this woman who's protected me, guided me, believed in me when I was just a janitor with a notebook. If I testify, what are my odds of surviving? Honestly, 50-50. Hale has resources, connections, people who owe him favors. But Vega's good, and Vincent, even injured, has mobilized every asset he has to keep you safe. He knows. About Hale making bail? He was the first person we told. Teresa almost smiles. He's threatening to check himself out of ICU to personally hunt Hale down. We've had to station guards at his room to keep him from leaving. The image would be funny if it wasn't terrifying. Vincent Morello, barely able to stand, ready to go to war for a woman who's supposed to be disappearing. Wake Marcus, I make the decision before I can reconsider. We're not running anymore. We're finishing this. Teresa nods, makes calls. Within minutes, our small house fills with federal agents, security personnel, and the machinery of protection that comes with choosing courage over invisibility. Marcus appears in pajamas, confused and frightened. I explain quickly. Hale is free. We have to testify. This ends now or never. He doesn't hesitate. Let's end it. 16 years old and already understanding what our parents knew. Sometimes survival isn't enough. Sometimes you have to fight for the world you want to live in, not just the one you're stuck in. At dawn, we're escorted to a federal courthouse in downtown Portland. Vega meets us, flanked by marshals and looking like she hasn't slept in days. Hale's legal team is filing for continuance, claiming you're not a reliable witness, that the trauma makes your testimony suspect. Then let me prove them wrong. We enter through back entrances, security checkpoints, metal detectors that beep at Teresa's weapon and my residual fear. The courtroom is smaller than I expected, intimate, like confessionals or execution chambers. Hale sits at the defense table, silver-haired and immaculate, surrounded by lawyers who probably cost more than my life is worth. When he sees me, his expression doesn't change. But his eyes promise violence with the patience of someone who's never been denied anything. I take the stand, swear to tell truth on a Bible that reminds me of my grandmother's cross, face the prosecutor, a woman named Chen who might be Michael's relative and handles the irony without acknowledging it. State your name for the record. Emily Rose Parker, not Sarah Bennett, not some manufactured identity. My real name, the one my parents gave me. The one I'm reclaiming in this moment. Missy Parker, please describe your relationship to the defendant. I look at Hale. He stares back, confident that money will protect him the way it always has. Then I start talking. And I don't stop until every crime is on record, every victim named, every detail documented. My parents' murder, David Chen's poisoning, Michael's betrayal, the pattern of destruction that built Hale's empire on displaced families and broken communities. The courtroom is silent except for my voice. Steady. Certain. Loud enough that everyone hears. Loud enough that truth becomes undeniable. When I finish, Hale's lawyer stands, smooth, expensive, ready to tear apart everything I've said. Miss Hart Parker, isn't it true that you have a personal vendetta against my client? That your testimony is motivated by revenge, not facts? Yes, I meet his eyes. I want revenge for my parents, for every family he destroyed, for every life he ruined while hiding behind lawyers and shell companies. But that doesn't make my testimony less true. It makes it more important. The lawyer starts to respond, then stops. Because the judge, a black woman in her 60s who looks like she's presided over Chicago's corruption for decades, raises her hand. I've heard enough. Ms. Parker's testimony is compelling, detailed, and corroborated by documentary evidence. Motion for continuance is denied. Trial proceeds. Hale's expression cracks, just slightly. But enough that I see it. Fear bleeding through arrogance. The realization that maybe, this time, power won't protect him. I step down from the witness stand. Marcus is waiting in the gallery with tears in his eyes. Teresa nods, respect or approval. Maybe both. Vega looks satisfied in the way prosecutors do when justice might actually happen. Outside the courthouse, the morning is gray and perfect. Portland rain starting to fall, washing everything clean. We're escorted to a safe house. Real protection this time, not just promises. My phone buzzes. Vega's face appears on the screen. Bail has been revoked. Hale's going back into custody pending trial. Judge cited flight risk and witness intimidation. She pauses. You did it, Emily. You actually did it. The relief is physical, overwhelming. I lean against the car, legs suddenly unable to support my weight. How long until trial? 3 weeks. Fast-tracked due to media attention and public pressure. Your live stream created momentum we couldn't stop even if we wanted to. And Vincent? How is he? Vega's expression softens. Asking about you every hour? Threatening everyone? Being generally impossible? She almost smiles. He wants to know if you're safe. I told him yes. Should I tell him more? I think about Vincent recovering in Chicago. About the distance between us, geographic and circumstantial. About whether crossing that distance would be healing or harm. Tell him thank you. For the house. For everything. And tell him I kept my promise. I stayed loud. I will. Vega ends the call. Marcus sits beside me in the safe house, doing homework like the world isn't ending and rebuilding simultaneously. I watch him, this brilliant boy who deserves better than the life I've given him, who deserves parents and stability and futures that don't involve federal protection. Em? He looks up. Are we really safe now? Or is this just another pause before it gets bad again? The question deserves honesty. I don't know. But I promise, whatever comes next, we face it together. No more secrets. No more hiding. Good. Because I'm tired of pretending everything's fine. Me too. We sit in comfortable silence. Two people who've survived what should have killed them. I think about Vincent's message about the silver crown, about second chances and redemption, and whether people born into darkness can ever really see the light. My phone buzzes again. Unknown number. Against every instinct, I answer. Hello. Emily Parker. A woman's voice, cultured and cold. My name is Catherine Hale, Richard's wife. We need to talk. The world tilts. Richard Hale's wife. Calling my protected phone number that nobody should have access to. How did you get this number? I have resources. And I have a proposition. Meet me tomorrow. Alone. Or everything you fought for ends in ways you can't imagine. Is that a threat? It's an opportunity. To end this before more people die. Before your brother becomes collateral damage in a war you started but can't finish alone. The line goes dead. I stare at the phone, mind racing. Catherine Hale. A player I didn't know existed. Calling with threats disguised as propositions. Knowing where I am when even Vega's protection couldn't keep me hidden. Teresa appears in the doorway. Who was that? Catherine Hale. Richard's wife. She wants to meet. Teresa's expression goes dark. That's a trap. Obviously. Maybe? But what if it's not? What if she has information that ends this? Or what if she kills you the moment you show up? Then I die finishing what I started. I look at Marcus, safe and oblivious. But if I don't go, if I ignore this, she knows where we are. Teresa, she has access Witsec couldn't prevent, which means running won't save us. So what do? I think about Vincent's lesson. Sometimes the best defense is offense. Sometimes you have to step into danger instead of running from it. I meet her, with full protection, full surveillance. And I find out what Richard Hale's wife wants badly enough to risk contacting a federal witness. Teresa makes a call. Vega arrives within the hour, expression grim. Catherine Hale is more dangerous than Richard. She's the one who actually runs their empire. He's just the public face. If she's reaching out, it's because she sees an angle we're missing. Or because she wants revenge for destroying her husband. Maybe Vega considers, or maybe she wants to cut a deal, turn on Richard to save herself. Only one way to find out. I stand, decision made. Set up the meet, tomorrow. Somewhere public. I'll wear a wire. You'll have teams in position. And we see what Catherine Hale thinks is worth risking everything. Vega nods slowly. This is dangerous, Emily. Everything's been dangerous since the night Craig grabbed me in that hallway. At least this time, I'm walking into it with my eyes open. The next day, I meet Catherine Hale in a coffee shop in downtown Portland. Neutral territory. Crowded. Cameras everywhere. Vega's team scattered among the customers. Invisible but present. Catherine is elegant in the way old money is. Understated, expensive, the kind of beauty maintained by personal trainers and skilled surgeons. She sits at a corner table with perfect posture and orders tea she doesn't drink. When I sit across from her, she studies me with eyes that miss nothing. You're younger than I expected, and braver or more foolish. She sips her tea. I haven't decided which. What do you want? Direct. I appreciate that. She sets down her cup carefully. I want to offer you a deal. You drop the charges against my husband. Recant your testimony. And in exchange, I ensure you and your brother live long, safe, undisturbed lives. That's not a deal. That's extortion. Call it what you like. The offer stands. Why would you help him? Your husband destroyed families, killed people, built an empire on corruption. Don't you care? Something flickers in her expression. Pain, maybe, or rage carefully controlled. I care that I've spent 30 years building a life that's about to collapse because you couldn't stay invisible. She leans forward. My husband is a monster. I've known that for decades. But he's my monster. And I've worked too hard to let a janitor with delusions of heroism destroy everything. The word janitor is meant to cut. It does. But I've stopped letting other people's dismissal define me. Then you should have married better. Her smile is winter. Perhaps. But divorce is expensive. Widowhood is profitable. She pauses, letting the implications settle. What if I told you Richard Hale doesn't have to survive his trial? That I have resources to ensure his death looks natural, tragic, inevitable. The room tilts. She's offering to kill her own husband. Why tell me this? Because I need your testimony to put him away first. Prison is where accidents happen, where powerful men finally face consequences. She slides a folder across the table. These are offshore accounts. Money. Richard thinks I don't know about. Enough to rebuild every family he displaced, fund every community he destroyed. All yours. In exchange for letting me handle the final justice. I open the folder. The numbers are staggering. Enough to change lives. Enough to buy the redemption Richard Hale never earned. And if I refuse, then Richard walks eventually. Lawyers will find appeals, technicalities. He'll rebuild. And next time, he'll be smarter about eliminating witnesses. Her voice drops. Your brother is 16. How long do you think he'd survive if Richard decides to make an example? The threat is clear, absolute, and probably true. Why should I trust you won't kill me the moment I agree? Because you're more useful alive. As the witness who brought him down, the hero who stood against corruption. Catherine stands, smoothing her perfect suit. You have 24 hours to decide. Choose wisely, Ms. Parker. Some enemies are better as allies. She leaves. I sit frozen, folder in hand, wire recording every word for Vega's team. But all I can think is, Catherine Hale just offered me blood money and murder disguised as justice. And the terrifying part is, I'm actually considering it. Because maybe she's right. Maybe some monsters can only be stopped by other monsters. Maybe true justice requires getting your hands dirty in ways courtrooms will never allow. I return to the safe house. Vega is waiting. Having listened to every word. She's offering to kill him. I heard. Vega's voice is carefully neutral. And I don't know what to do. Letting her kill Richard solves the problem permanently. But it also makes me complicit in murder. Yes. So what do I do? Vega is quiet for a long moment. Then, you do what you've always done, Emily. You count, you document, and you decide what kind of person you want to be when this is over. That night, I lie awake counting possibilities instead of seconds. Counting the ways Catherine's plan could succeed or fail. Counting the lives saved versus the sin committed. My phone buzzes at 3 a.m. Teresa's voice. Urgent. Vincent's gone. Checked himself out of the hospital against medical advice. We don't know where he is. What do you mean gone? I mean he's in the wind. Left a note saying he's finishing this himself. Emily, I think he's coming for Hale. The world stops. Vincent Morello, barely healed. Hunting the man who tried to kill us both. Choosing violence I thought he'd moved beyond. Find him. Please. Before he does something that destroys everything we built. We're trying. But Emily, he's good at disappearing. And he's motivated. Teresa pauses. You're the only one who might be able to talk him down. If you're willing. The choice crystallizes. Stay safe, or go after Vincent and risk everything again. Let him wage this war alone, or stand beside him one final time. I think about his words in the hospital. Stay loud. Don't let them make you small. Then I get dressed. Check on Marcus, sleeping peacefully, protected by federal agents who've sworn to keep him safe. I kiss his forehead, write a note in case I don't return, and tell Teresa, take me to Chicago. Now. Before Vincent does something we all regret. Because some wars you don't abandon. Some people you don't let fight alone. Even when wisdom demands distance. Even when survival requires letting go. Vincent Morello saved me when I was invisible. Now it's my turn to save him from becoming the monster his father was. The plane lands at O'Hare at dawn. Chicago greets me like an old enemy, familiar, dangerous, full of ghosts I thought I'd escaped. Teresa's phone rings. Unknown number. She answers, listens, goes pale. Emily. It's Vincent. He's at the Silver Crown, and he's not alone. We arrive to find police cars, federal agents, and Vincent Morello standing in the restaurant's main dining room with Richard Hale kneeling before him, execution style. Vincent holds a gun to Hale's head. His hands don't shake. His eyes are empty of everything except cold determination. Vincent. I step forward slowly. Don't do this. Go home, Emily. This doesn't concern you anymore. Yes, it does. Because if you kill him, you become what you've been trying not to be. You prove your father was right, that power is only real when it's brutal. He tried to kill you. He tried to kill your brother. He murdered your parents. I know. And he'll pay. In court. In prison. The right way. There is no right way. Vincent's voice cracks. The system is broken. Hale will find a loophole. Buy a judge. Walk free eventually. This is the only justice that matters. No. I move closer, ignoring Vega's shouted warnings. Justice that comes from murder isn't justice. It's revenge. And revenge just creates more monsters. Then let me be the monster. So you don't have to be. The admission breaks my heart. He's trying to protect me even now. Trying to carry the darkness so I can stay in the light. Vincent Morello. I'm standing right in front of him now. Close enough to touch. Look at me. He does. And I see it. The exhaustion, the rage, the desperate need to make something right in a world that's been wrong since the day he was born. You are not your father. You are not the violence you inherited. You're the man who stopped Craig from hurting me, who built cooperative restaurants, who gave me a house when you thought you were dying. That's who you are. Not this. Emily, if you pull that trigger, you destroy everything we built. You prove Catherine Hale right, that monsters can only be stopped by other monsters. But I don't believe that. I believe you can be better. I reach for the gun gently. Please, let him face justice. The real kind. The kind that proves the system can work when people are brave enough to demand it. Vincent's hand trembles. The gun lowers slightly. Hale starts to move. And Catherine Hale steps from the shadows with her own weapon raised, aimed not at Vincent, but at her husband. He's right, Emily. Some monsters only understand one language. She fires, Richard Hale drops, blood pools. The restaurant erupts in chaos, federal agents swarming, police shouting, Vincent standing frozen with the gun still in his hand. Catherine surrenders calmly, weapon placed on the ground, hands raised. Her expression is serene, almost peaceful. He was going to destroy everything, again. She looks at me. I offered you a choice, Mrs. Parker. You hesitated, so I made it for both of us. Vega is already cuffing her, reading rights, but Catherine just smiles. Thank you, Emily, for giving me the courage to do what I should have done 30 years ago. They take her away. Paramedics rush to Hale, but I can see from here that it's too late. Catherine's shot was professional, final, aimed with the precision of someone who's been planning this for decades. Richard Hale, the man who killed my parents, who threatened my brother, who built an empire on exploitation, dies on the Silver Crown's marble floor. The same floor I used to mop when I was invisible. The poetry isn't lost on me. Vincent drops the gun, turns to me. His expression is devastated, relieved, lost. I didn't pull the trigger, I know. But I was going to... I know that too. I take his hand. But you didn't. You let me stop you. That's what matters. Is it? He sounds broken. I'm still the man who almost committed murder, who thought violence was the only answer. You're also the man who listened, who chose differently when it mattered. I squeeze his fingers. That's growth, Vincent. That's being better than your father. Federal agents separate us. Statements needed, investigation beginning. But as they lead us to different vehicles, Vincent looks back once, and I see it in his eyes. Gratitude mixed with something that might be love if we'd met in a different life. If our story wasn't written in violence and counting sins, later, hours or days, time loses meaning. Vega finds me in a sterile interview room. Catherine Hale confessed to everything. Not just Richard's murder, but her involvement in the entire operation. She'd been documenting his crimes for years, waiting for the right moment. You gave her that moment, so I'm responsible for his death. No, she's responsible. But Emily, she named you in her confession. Said you inspired her to finally act. Defense lawyers will use that. Claim you manipulated her. It could get complicated. Everything's been complicated. Fair point. Vega sits. For what it's worth, I think you did the right thing. All of it. From counting Craig's fraud to stopping Vincent from becoming a murderer. You stayed loud even when silence would have been easier. And now, what happens to me and Marcus? WITSEC offer still stands. New identities, new lives. Or, Vega pauses. You stay. Use your platform. Tell your story. Become the face of standing against corruption. That sounds exhausting. It would be, but it would also matter. People need to see that ordinary people can fight back and win. Even if winning looks messy, I think about it. About staying visible versus disappearing. About whether I have any courage left after everything. Can I decide tomorrow? After I've slept for approximately 1,000 years? Vega smiles. Take all the time you need. I'm released into Teresa's custody. Marcus is waiting at a hotel, federal protection still in place. When I enter our room, he looks up from homework with eyes that seem older than 16. Is it over? Yes? Finally? Completely? Did you kill him? Hale? No. Someone else did. Someone who had their own reasons. He nods. Accepts this. Good. I'm glad he's dead. Does that make me a bad person? No. It makes you human. I sit beside him. Marcus, I need to tell you something. We have a choice. We can disappear, become new people, start over, or we can stay. Be ourselves. Face whatever comes next without hiding. What do you want to do? I don't know. I'm tired of fighting. But I'm also tired of hiding. Then let's not hide. He looks at me with certainty I don't feel. Mom and Dad didn't hide. They fought even when it was dangerous. Let's honor them by doing the same. The wisdom of 16. Sometimes children see clearly what adults complicate with fear. Okay, we stay, we're loud, we face it together. Together. He agrees. That night, I sleep without counting exits or checking locks, without waiting for the next threat to materialize. For the first time in 2 years, I feel something that might be peace. It doesn't last. At 6 a.m., my phone rings. Vega's voice, tight with urgency. Emily, turn on the news. Now. I do. Every channel is covering the same story. Catherine Hale's confession has sparked a federal investigation into Chicago's political corruption. Names are dropping: aldermen, judges, police commissioners. Everyone Hale paid off, everyone who enabled his empire. The city is imploding, and my face is everywhere. The janitor who exposed it all, the woman who stayed loud. My phone explodes with calls, media requests, book offers, people wanting my story, my trauma, my pain packaged for consumption. I turn it off. Look at Marcus. This is going to get worse before it gets better. So? He shrugs. We'll handle it, like we handle everything. A knock at the door. Teresa enters with Vincent Morello, still pale, still healing, but standing on his own. When he sees me, something in his expression cracks. Emily, I needed to see you, to thank you, for stopping me, for believing I could be better. You would have made the same choice eventually. Maybe. But you gave me time to make it. He pauses. I'm leaving Chicago, selling everything, starting over somewhere else. Somewhere I can build something legitimate without my father's shadow. The announcement shouldn't hurt, but it does. Where will you go? I don't know yet. Somewhere quiet. Somewhere I can figure out who Vincent Morello is when he's not trying to survive his bloodline. He looks at me with eyes full of things we'll never say. What about you? We're staying, building something here. Making sure what we started actually changes things. That's brave. Or insane. He almost smiles. I'm still not sure which. Both. Definitely both. We stand in awkward silence. Two people who saved each other repeatedly but can't quite figure out how to exist in peacetime. Vincent. I step closer. Thank you. For everything. For seeing me when I was invisible. For proving that power can be used for good. Thank you for teaching me that being powerful and being good aren't mutually exclusive. He takes my hand, squeezes gently. Stay loud, Emily Parker. The world needs more people like you. It needs more people like you, too. The ones trying to be better. He leaves. I watch him go with Teresa, disappearing into whatever future he's building away from Chicago's ghosts. Marcus appears beside me. You love him, don't you? No, not love, but something close. Understanding, maybe. Recognition. Are you sad he's leaving? Yes, but also grateful. Because if he stayed, I don't think either of us would ever figure out who we are without the crisis. That's very mature. I'm 24. I'm supposed to be mature. You're 24 and you just took down a corrupt empire. That's terrifying levels of competent. I laugh, actually laugh, for the first time in longer than I can remember. Come on, Let's order room service and watch bad TV and pretend we're normal people for one night. We're never going to be normal. No. But we can pretend. We spend the evening being siblings instead of survivors, eating overpriced hotel food and arguing about movies and doing all the things we should have been doing for the last 2 years instead of fighting for our lives. It's perfect. Temporary. Precious. At midnight, my phone buzzes. Unknown number. I almost don't answer. Then I do. Emily Parker. A man's voice. Calm and professional. My name is James Rodriguez. I'm an investigative journalist with the Tribune. I've been following your story, and I think there's more to tell. I'm not giving interviews. I'm not asking for one. I'm offering you a partnership. Help me investigate the larger corruption network Hale was part of. Use your platform to expose systemic problems, not just individual criminals. Why me? Because you're the only person in this city who's proven they can't be bought or intimidated. And because the story doesn't end with Hale's death, it's just beginning. I should say no. Should focus on Marcus, on rebuilding our lives, on finally resting after years of war. But I think about my parents, about their union organizing, about how they fought because someone had to, even knowing the cost. I'll think about it. That's all I ask. He gives me his number. When you're ready to stop surviving and start actually changing things, call me. He hangs up. Marcus is watching from the couch. You're going to do it, aren't you? Probably. Is that okay? Yeah. He smiles. And it's our father's smile. Brave and stubborn and absolutely certain that justice matters more than safety. Because someone has to. Might as well be you. I sit beside my brother, and together we watch Chicago's lights through the hotel window. This city that tried to kill us. That taught us to count sins instead of blessings. That made us into people who can't look away even when looking is dangerous. Tomorrow, I'll call James Rodriguez. Tomorrow, I'll decide whether to stay in Chicago or take Vincent's house in Portland. Tomorrow, I'll figure out how to be Emily Parker instead of just a survivor. But tonight, I'm just a sister, watching over her brother, counting his breaths instead of threats. Finally believing that maybe we'll both see morning. And maybe that's enough. Maybe that's everything. My phone buzzes one last time. A text from Vega. Catherine Hale wants to see you. Tomorrow. Prison visit. She says she has information about your parents. Deaths. Details we missed. Says she'll only talk to you. Your choice. I stare at the message. One more ghost. One more truth. One more choice between moving forward and looking back. Marcus asks. Everything okay? I delete the message. Turn off the phone. Yeah. Everything's okay. For the first time, I actually mean it. But as I fall asleep that night, I know the truth. Emily Parker's story isn't over. It's just beginning. Because women who learn to count sins can never quite stop. And Chicago has so many sins left to document, so many truths still waiting to be told, and I'm done being invisible. I visit Catherine Hale on a Tuesday morning when the sky is the color of old bruises, and Chicago smells like rain that hasn't fallen yet. The prison is in Joliet. Concrete and razor wire and the architecture of punishment designed to break spirits before sentences even begin. Marcus wanted to come. I told him no. Some ghosts are mine alone to face. Teresa drives, silent and alert. Her presence a reminder that even in visiting rooms, danger finds ways to breathe. We pass through security, metal detectors, pat-downs, the systematic stripping of dignity that happens before you're allowed to sit across from someone who chose murder over mercy. Catherine waits in a private room, not the general visiting area. Money still buys privileges even behind bars. She wears prison orange like it's designer, poised, controlled, her silver hair pulled back to reveal a face that's aged a decade in the 2 weeks since she killed her husband. Emily. She doesn't stand, doesn't smile, just studies me with eyes that have seen too much and regret nothing. Thank you for coming. You said you have information about my parents. Direct. Still, I appreciate consistency. She gestures to the chair across from her. Sit. This will take time. I sit. The chair is bolted to the floor. Everything in prison is bolted or chained or designed to prevent things from becoming weapons. I understand the impulse. In Catherine Hale's presence, even words feel dangerous. Richard didn't order your parents' deaths. The statement lands like a blow. I've spent 2 years believing Richard Hale was the architect of my family's destruction, building my entire understanding of justice around his guilt. The emails, Morrison's confession, were real, but incomplete. She leans forward slightly. Daniel Morrison was working for someone else, using Hale's resources, yes, his money, his connections, but taking orders from a different master. Who? Thomas Rourke, Chicago's deputy mayor? The man who's been running this city's corruption for 30 years while everyone focused on developers and crime bosses. The name means nothing to me. I say so. Catherine's smile is bitter. That's by design. Rourke is invisible by choice. He doesn't build empires, he enables them. Doesn't take bribes, he arranges them. Your father's union threatened a construction project worth $500 million. 6 aldermen were invested. 2 judges. The deputy mayor himself. So Rourke ordered Morrison to kill them? Rourke ordered Morrison to make the problem disappear. How Morrison chose to interpret that is between him and whatever God he believes in. She pauses. Richard found out after, used the information as leverage. That's how he worked, collecting sins, using them as currency. Why tell me this now? Why not before? Because before, I needed Richard alive long enough to face public humiliation. Now that he's dead, I'm free to dismantle the actual power structure. She slides a folder across the table. How she got it in here, I don't want to know. Everything's in there. Rourke's involvement, the other players. Enough to bring down Chicago's government if you're brave enough to use it. I open the folder. Documents, photos, bank records. A conspiracy so vast it makes Hale's operation look like amateur hour. This is enough to start a federal investigation that could last years. Yes, and Emily? Rourke knows you exist, knows you're the one who exposed Hale. He's already taking steps to neutralize you before you become a problem. Neutralize. His word, not mine. Catherine's voice is carefully neutral. I'm telling you because you deserve to finish what your parents started. But I'm also warning you, Rourke doesn't make Hale's mistakes. He won't threaten your brother or send amateur shooters. He'll simply arrange for you to have an accident. A gas leak. A car malfunction. Something mundane and untraceable. The threat is worse for being familiar. My parents died in a car malfunction. History preparing to repeat itself with surgical precision. Why give me this? Why help me? Catherine is quiet for a long moment, and something human flickers behind her perfect composure. Because I spent 30 years being complicit, knowing what Richard did and choosing comfort over courage. I can't undo those choices. But I can make sure his death meant something, that the system that enabled him burns along with his legacy. That's not redemption. No, but it's accountability. And in this city, that's the closest thing to justice we're going to get. The guard signals our time is ending. Catherine stands with the grace of someone who's never been truly humbled, even by incarceration. Emily. One more thing. She looks at me with something that might be respect or warning. Vincent Morello knows about Rourke. Has for years. That's why he was really protecting you, not just because Craig assaulted you, but because you're the daughter of people Rourke murdered. Vincent's been waiting for someone brave enough to take Rourke down. Then why didn't Vincent do it himself? Because Vincent's father worked for Rourke, built his empire on contracts Rourke arranged. If Vincent goes after the deputy mayor, he destroys his own family's legacy, proves that everything the Morello name built was dirty from the foundation. Her smile is sad. But you have no such complications. You're free to burn it all down. She's escorted away before I can respond. I sit alone in the visiting room, folder in hand, understanding finally crystallizing. I was never just collateral damage. I was always the weapon. The one person with motivation and clean hands. The daughter of martyrs, perfectly positioned to finish their war. Teresa appears in the doorway. You okay? No, but I will be. I stand, legs remembering how to work. We need to call Vega. And I need to talk to Vincent before he disappears completely. Emily, I know what you're going to say. This is dangerous. Rourke is untouchable. I should take Marcus and run. I meet her eyes. But I'm done running. My parents didn't run. I won't either. Then we do it smart. Teresa's voice is steel wrapped in concern. We build an airtight case. We protect Marcus with everything we have. And we don't make a move until we're certain we can win. Agreed. But Teresa? We need Vincent's help. He knows Rourke's operation from the inside. Without him, we're fighting blind. Vincent left Chicago, said he was done with all of it. Then I'll convince him to come back. One last time. We drive back to the city in silence. Chicago rises around us, beautiful and brutal, full of people who have no idea their government is run by a man who orders murders over zoning disputes. I think about my father organizing his union, believing that collective action could change things. He was right. It could. It just got him killed before he could see it through. Maybe I'll finish what he started. Maybe I'll die trying. But at least I'll die loud, the way Vincent taught me. At the hotel, Marcus is doing calculus homework with the focused intensity of someone using math to ignore reality. When he sees my face, he closes the textbook. What happened? Catherine Hale gave me information about Mom and Dad's deaths. The real story, I sit beside him. It goes higher than Hale, all the way to the deputy mayor. Thomas Rourke. Marcus says the name like he's been expecting it. I've been researching, following the money. He's connected to everything. Development deals, union busting, the construction projects Mom and Dad were fighting against. You knew? I suspected, but I didn't want to say anything until I was sure. He looks at me with eyes older than 16. Rourke is protected by the entire city government. Going after him is suicide. Probably. But it's the right kind of suicide. The kind that matters. Don't say that. His voice cracks. Don't talk about dying like it's noble. I already lost Mom and Dad. I can't lose you too. The fear in his voice breaks something in my chest. I pull him close. This brilliant boy who's been carrying his own investigation while I fought my war. You're not going to lose me. I promise. You can't promise that. You're right. I can't. But I can promise I'll be careful, strategic, that I won't throw my life away on revenge disguised as justice. But you are going after Rourke. Yes. With federal help. With Vincent's inside knowledge. With every resource we can muster. I pull back to look at him. But Marcus? If this goes wrong, if something happens to me, you take the money from Catherine's accounts. You disappear. You live the life Mom and Dad wanted for you. I'm not leaving you. Yes, you are. If it comes to that, because someone has to survive to tell the story. Someone has to remember why any of this mattered. We sit in stubborn silence. Two people who love each other enough to argue about who gets to sacrifice what. Finally, Marcus nods. Okay. But only if you promise to actually try to survive. Not just go down swinging. I promise. Good. Because I already wrote your eulogy and it's pretty mediocre. You should stick around to earn a better one. I laugh through tears I didn't know I was crying. Deal. That night, I call the number Vincent left with Teresa. It rings 4 times. I'm about to hang up when he answers. Emily. Just my name. But the way he says it, rough with sleep or emotion or distance, makes my chest tight. I need your help. One last time. I told you I was done. I know. But there's someone else. Someone above Hale. The person who actually ordered my parents' deaths. Silence. Long enough that I check if the call dropped. Then, Rourke. Catherine told you. I've known for years. I just couldn't prove it. And I couldn't go after him without destroying everything my father built. Even the legitimate parts. I don't have that problem. But I need your help. Your knowledge of his operation, your connections, my willingness to finish what you started. He sighs, and it sounds like surrender. Emily, if I come back, if I help you take down Rourke, there's no walking away after. The city will know I betrayed my father's partners. I'll never build anything legitimate here. Never be more than a criminal who turned on his own. I know. And I'm sorry for asking, but Vincent, you're the only one who can help me finish this. The only one who knows the system well enough to dismantle it. And if I say no, then I do it alone. Probably die trying. But at least I'll know I gave my parents deaths, meaning... He's quiet again. I can hear him breathing. Hear the weight of the choice settling on shoulders that have carried too much for too long. Where are you? Chicago. The Palmer House. I'll be there in 3 hours. He pauses. Emily, don't do anything stupid before I arrive. No investigating, no confronting anyone. Just wait. I can wait 3 hours. Promise me. I promise. He hangs up. I sit holding the phone, heart racing with something that feels like hope mixed with terror. Vincent Morello is coming back. For me. For justice. For one final war against the system that created him. Teresa appears with food I don't want and water I need. Vincent? On his way. Good. Because Vega just called. Rourke knows about Catherine's folder. He's moving assets, calling in favors, preparing for war. She sits across from me. We have maybe 48 hours before he's untouchable again, protected by so many layers of legal immunity that even federal charges won't stick. Then we move fast, hit him before he's ready. With what evidence? Catherine's folder is good, but it's not enough without corroboration. We need witnesses, documents from multiple sources, a case so airtight even Chicago's corrupt judges can't dismiss it. Vincent will know where to find that. Maybe. Or maybe Vincent's just one more man with good intentions and a trail of bodies behind him. The assessment is harsh but fair. Vincent Morello has spent a decade trying to be better than his father, but the blood on his hands is still blood. The empire he inherited is still built on suffering. But he's also the man who stopped Craig from hurting me, who gave me a house when he thought he was dying, who chose not to kill Hale even when every instinct demanded violence. People can change. Vincent is proof. And if he can transform from his father's heir into something resembling good, then maybe Chicago can too. Trust me. I tell Teresa. One more time. Trust that Vincent and I can finish this the right way. She looks at me for a long moment, then nods. Okay. But Emily? The moment this goes sideways, the moment Rourke makes a move against you or Marcus, we extract. No heroics, no last stands, just survival. Agreed. Vincent arrives exactly 3 hours later, looking like he drove straight through from wherever he'd been hiding. He's thinner, exhausted, but his eyes are clear, focused, ready. When he sees me, something in his expression softens. You look terrible. You look worse. Fair. He glances around the hotel suite. Where's Marcus? Asleep. Under guard. Safe. Good. He pulls out a laptop, opens files I recognize from Catherine's folder. I've been tracking Rourke for 8 years, waiting for the right moment to move against him. Looks like you've made that moment arrive early. Sorry? Don't be. Timing was never going to be perfect. He pulls up a map of Chicago, marked with locations, connections, networks. Rourke's power comes from 3 sources: political influence, police corruption, and construction contracts. We need to hit all 3 simultaneously. Overwhelm his ability to contain the damage. How? We leak everything to the press, to federal investigators, to every oversight agency that's supposed to prevent exactly this kind of corruption. Vincent's smile is sharp. And we do it publicly. Press conference. On the record. So Rourke can't make us disappear quietly. That puts us in the crosshairs. We're already in the crosshairs. This just means we're shooting back. He looks at me. Emily, are you sure? Once we do this, there's no taking it back. Your life, Marcus's life, everything changes. You'll never be anonymous again. Never be safe again. Just notorious. I think about my grandmother's cross, packed away in a box somewhere, about invisibility as survival strategy, about all the years I spent being small and silent and safely overlooked. I'm sure. Let's burn it all down. Vincent nods, starts making calls. Within an hour, the hotel suite fills with people. Vega and her federal team, James Rodriguez the journalist, Teresa with security protocols, and 2 lawyers whose names I don't catch but whose reputations apparently precede them. We work through the night, building the case, cross-referencing Catherine's documents with Vincent's files, finding the smoking guns buried in decades of paperwork. By dawn, we have enough to destroy Rourke's career and possibly send him to prison for the rest of his life. Vega studies the evidence with the expression of someone who's just been handed Christmas and a loaded weapon simultaneously. This is good. Better than good. This is prosecutable. So we move, I ask. We move. She starts coordinating with her team. Press conference at noon, federal courthouse. We'll have a protective detail. But Emily, Rourke will know the moment we announce. He'll have 6 hours to make a play before we arrest him. Then we make sure Marcus is somewhere Rourke can't reach. Vincent's voice is final. Teresa, I need you to take Marcus to Milwaukee. Secure location. No digital trail. Complete blackout until this is over. I'm not leaving Emily. Marcus appears in the bedroom doorway, fully dressed despite the early hour. Wherever she goes, I go. Marcus. No. He crosses his arms, and the gesture is so much like our father that my breath catches. You don't get to protect me anymore by shipping me away. I'm staying. I'm watching my sister take down the man who killed our parents. And if something goes wrong, I'll at least have been here to witness it. The room is silent. Everyone looking at me, waiting for the decision. Older sister. Guardian. The person responsible for keeping him alive, but also the person who taught him to be brave, to stand for something, to believe that justice matters more than safety. He stays. My voice is steady. We do this together, as a family. Teresa starts to protest. Vincent cuts her off. Then we protect them both. Total lockdown, full security detail. If Rourke moves, we see it coming. Agreed. Vega makes more calls, coordinating protection that feels simultaneously comprehensive and inadequate. By 11 a.m., we're dressed for battle disguised as press conference. I wear a simple black suit borrowed from Vega's assistant, professional, forgettable, the kind of outfit that says credible witness instead of janitor with delusions of heroism. Marcus stands beside me in the only suit he owns. Bought for our father's funeral, still slightly too large in the shoulders. Vincent is in his element. Expensive suit, careful control, every inch the reformed criminal ready to expose the system that created him. When our eyes meet across the preparation room, I see gratitude and fear and something dangerously close to pride. Ready? He asks quietly. No, but I'm doing it anyway. That's what courage is. Doing the terrifying thing because it matters. The federal courthouse steps are crowded with reporters, cameras, and the curious public who heard rumors of a major announcement. Vega positions us carefully, me at the center, Vincent and Marcus flanking, lawyers and federal agents creating a protective semicircle. I step to the microphone. The Chicago sun is brutal, exposing, demanding. I think about invisibility, about safety, about all the reasons not to speak. Then I think about my parents, about Craig's violence, about every person Richard Hale displaced and Thomas Rourke enabled, about the cost of silence versus the cost of screaming. I open my mouth to speak. That's when I see him, Thomas Rourke himself, standing at the edge of the crowd, silver-haired, distinguished, looking exactly like every photograph of civic leader and public servant. But his eyes promise murder with the patience of someone who's never faced consequences. He smiles at me, raises his phone, types something. My phone buzzes. Everyone's phone buzzes simultaneously. Every reporter, every federal agent, every person on these courthouse steps, a video message, sent from an anonymous account, and when I open it, my world stops. It's Marcus, or rather footage of Marcus. From weeks ago, doctored to look recent. Sitting in what appears to be a warehouse, tied to a chair, terror on his face. And a voice, distorted, mechanical, delivering a message. Emily Parker, if you proceed with this press conference, your brother dies. You have 30 seconds to walk away. Choose wisely. The crowd erupts. Reporters shouting questions. Federal agents mobilizing. Marcus beside me, real and safe, staring at his own face on screen with confused horror. But Thomas Rourke just smiles, waiting, watching, knowing that even fake threats can paralyze if the stakes are high enough. Vega is in my ear. It's a fabrication. Marcus is right here. Don't fall for it. Vincent's hand on my shoulder. He's bluffing. Call it. But Rourke's eyes promise something else. Next time it won't be fake. The microphones wait. The cameras record. The city holds its breath. And I have to decide. Do I trust that Marcus is safe? That Rourke's threat is empty? Or do I believe that a man who's orchestrated murders for 30 years has resources I can't imagine and backup plans I haven't considered? The 30 seconds tick down. 20. 10. 5. Thomas Rourke's finger hovers over his phone. One more message waiting to send. Real or fake, threat or bluff. I open my mouth. The words that come out will either free Chicago or doom everyone I love. And in that moment, I finally understand what my parents knew. Justice always costs more than you think you can afford. The only question is whether you're willing to pay the price. The timer hits 0. Rourke presses send, every phone buzzes again, and this time, the video is live. The live feed shows a location I don't recognize, industrial, abandoned, lit by a single bulb that swings slightly as if someone just walked past. No hostage, no violence, just an empty room and a voice, mechanical and cold. 30 seconds expired. Miss Parker, but I'm a generous man. I'll give you one more chance. Walk away from the microphone. Go home. Live quietly, or the next video won't be empty. The threat hangs in Chicago's brutal sunshine. Every camera captures my face. The fear, the calculation, the moment a woman decides whether to be brave or smart. Rourke watches from the crowd's edge, patient as death, certain I'll break the way everyone breaks when you threaten the thing they love most. Marcus grabs my hand, 16 years old, and his grip is steady, certain, nothing like the terrified boy in the doctored footage. He leans close enough that only I can hear. Don't you dare walk away. Not for me, not for anyone. The words are gasoline on embers. I look at Rourke, at his certainty, his decades of winning because people were too afraid to lose. And I realize he's already lost. He just doesn't know it yet. I turn back to the microphone. My voice, when it comes, is steady as mathematics. My name is Emily Rose Parker. 2 years ago, my parents, union organizers fighting for worker safety, were murdered in what was called an accident. Their brake lines were sabotaged on orders from Thomas Rourke, Chicago's deputy mayor, because their union threatened construction profits. Today, I'm here with evidence of 30 years of corruption, murders, bribes, a system so broken that men like Rourke thought they were untouchable. The crowd erupts. Rourke's expression shifts from confident to calculating to something that might be respect, or might just be rage compressed into professional calm. He starts moving through the crowd, not fleeing, just repositioning, always strategic, always thinking 3 moves ahead, but Vincent is faster. His security team materializes, creating a human barrier between Rourke and escape routes. Federal agents move in. And for the first time in probably 30 years, Thomas Rourke looks like what he is. A man who finally miscalculated. Emily Parker. His voice cuts through the chaos, amplified somehow, reaching the microphone. You've just made the biggest mistake of your life. No. I lean into the microphone. You made the mistake. You thought I'd choose safety over truth. That I'd be like everyone else you've intimidated into silence. But I learned something these last few months. Staying silent doesn't keep you safe. It just makes you complicit. Brave speech. We'll see how brave you are when your brother pays the price for your heroism. Marcus steps forward before I can stop him, takes the microphone with hands that don't shake. I'm Marcus Parker. My parents were murdered by men you hired. My sister nearly died trying to expose the truth. And I'm standing here telling you and everyone watching, we're not afraid of you anymore. You're done. The words are simple. Definitive. A 16-year-old boy declaring war on Chicago's most powerful man, and somehow, impossibly, winning because truth spoken loudly enough becomes its own weapon. Vega's team moves in. Rourke is surrounded, but he's not done. Men like him never are. He pulls out his phone one more time, and I see him dial, see him speak words I can't hear over the crowd noise. Then chaos. 3 car bombs detonate simultaneously. One at the federal building downtown, one at the courthouse parking garage, one at Vega's field office. Not close enough to hurt us here, but close enough to send a message. I can reach anyone, anywhere, anytime. The press conference dissolves into panic. People running, screaming, the machinery of civilization cracking under sudden violence. Federal agents tackle Rourke, but he's laughing even as they cuff him, laughing because he just proved that power means being willing to burn everything down rather than lose gracefully. Vincent pulls me and Marcus behind the protective barrier of his security team. We're rushed into an armored vehicle, sirens wailing, Chicago blurring past windows thick enough to stop bullets, but not thick enough to stop the truth. We're at war now. Open. Brutal. The kind that ends with bodies or prison cells or both. Is anyone hurt? I'm asking before I can process. The bombs. 3 dead. Vega's voice crackles through the radio. 12 injured. All federal employees. Rourke just committed domestic terrorism on live television. He's insane. No. Vincent's voice is grim. He's desperate, and desperate men do desperate things. He looks at me, and something in his expression makes my chest tight. Emily, this just became bigger than Chicago corruption. Rourke just attacked federal buildings. That's FBI, ATF, Homeland Security jurisdiction. He's not walking away from this. But neither are we, until he's in custody. Everyone involved in exposing him is a target. So what do? We finish it. Tonight. Before he has time to regroup or eliminate more witnesses. The vehicle takes us to a safe house in Evanston, different from before, harder to find, protected by enough federal agents that it looks like a military operation. Inside, Vega sets up a command center with the efficiency of someone who's done this before, who knows that justice sometimes requires treating civilians like soldiers. Rourke lawyered up immediately. She briefs us while pulling up surveillance feeds. But we have him on terrorism charges now. The bombs changed everything. No bail, no house arrest. He's going to federal prison pending trial. That's good, right? Marcus asks. It's a start. But Emily, Vega turns to me. Rourke still has resources. People loyal to him. Money hidden in accounts we haven't found. He'll try to reach you from prison. Intimidate witnesses. Buy his way to freedom the way men like him always do. So we make sure the case is airtight. I'm surprised by the steel in my voice. We find every witness. Document every crime. Build something so comprehensive that no lawyer can dismantle it. That's going to take months. Vincent sits beside me, close enough that I can feel his exhaustion. Months of you and Marcus living under protection, of being targets, of wondering if every car that passes is coming for you. Then that's what we do. I meet his eyes. Because the alternative is letting Rourke win from a prison cell. And I didn't come this far to stop now. Vincent almost smiles. You know, when I first saw you, that night in the hallway with Craig, I thought you were just another victim, someone who needed rescuing. And now? Now I know better. You don't need rescuing. You need partnership. People willing to stand beside you while you burn down empires. He pauses. I'm honored to be one of them. The words settle between us, weighted with everything we've survived together. Not love. We're too damaged for that simplicity. But something deeper. Recognition. The knowledge that we've both been fighting to be better than our worst moments. And somehow, we've succeeded more than we've failed. That night, while Marcus sleeps and federal agents patrol outside, I sit with Catherine Hale's folder and Vincent's files and my own documentation from 2 years of counting sins. The evidence is overwhelming. 30 years of corruption mapped in paper and bites and testimony from people who finally feel safe enough to speak. My phone rings. Unknown number. I should ignore it. Answer it anyway. Ms. Parker. Thomas Rourke's voice. Calm despite the fact he's calling from federal custody. Impressive performance today. You have real talent for theater. This isn't theater, it's justice. Justice. He laughs. And it's the sound of someone who's never believed in abstract concepts. You think putting me in prison changes anything? I'm one man. The system I built has 1,000 others ready to take my place. Chicago's corruption isn't a person, Emily. It's a structure. And structures don't fall because one woman gets loud. Maybe, but they crack. And cracks spread. And eventually, the whole thing comes down. Perhaps. Or perhaps you've just made yourself the symbol every corrupt politician and dirty cop will target to prove the system still works. He pauses. How long do you think you'll survive as Chicago's crusader? A year? 2? Before someone decides you're too dangerous to let live, long enough to see you convicted? Probably. He sounds almost pleased. But Emily, when I'm gone, and I will be gone, your evidence is quite thorough. Remember that you created a power vacuum. Someone will fill it. Someone worse than me. Probably. And you'll have to live with knowing you enabled them by destroying the devil you knew. The line goes dead. I sit in darkness, phone in hand, processing the implications. He's right. Removing Rourke doesn't fix Chicago's systemic corruption. It just opens space for the next ambitious sociopath to step up. Unless we do something different. Something that doesn't just destroy, but rebuilds. Vincent appears in the doorway, backlit by kitchen lights. Couldn't sleep? Rourke called. From prison. That's illegal and we can use it against him. What did he say? That I'm going to create a power vacuum. That someone worse will take his place. That destroying one man doesn't fix a broken system. Vincent sits beside me, and his presence is steady, grounding. He's not wrong, but he's also not right. Yes, someone might try to fill his shoes, but you've also shown every person in this city that speaking up is possible, that ordinary people can fight back and win. That's not nothing, Emily. That's everything. Is it? Because I feel like all I've done is paint a target on my back and Marcus's and everyone who helped me. You've also given people hope. Vincent's voice is quiet but certain. For every person Rourke threatens, there are 10 more who are inspired by what you did. Who are documenting their own evidence. Who are finding their courage because you found yours first. That's a lot of pressure to live up to. Good thing you're good with pressure. He almost smiles. Emily, whatever comes next, whether it's more trials or more threats or just the exhausting work of rebuilding, you don't face it alone. I'm here. Teresa's here. Vega, Marcus, everyone you've inspired. We finish this together. The words are balm on wounds I didn't realize still hurt. I lean against him. Not romance, just human contact. The reassurance that I'm not alone in the dark. Vincent. I ask quietly. What happens when this is over? When Rourke's convicted and the trials end and Chicago starts healing? What do we become? I don't know, but I'd like to find out. He pauses. If you'll let me. The offer hangs between us. Weighted, dangerous, full of possibility. Vincent Morello, reformed criminal trying to build something good. Emily Parker, witness turned warrior. 2 broken people who found each other in the chaos and somehow made each other better. I'd like that too. We sit in comfortable silence until Vincent's phone buzzes. He reads the message, and his expression shifts from peaceful to alert. What is it? Teresa. There's been another development. One of Rourke's people, his chief of staff, just turned himself in. Says he has evidence even we don't have. Video, audio, documents proving Rourke's involvement in murders going back 20 years. Why turn himself in now? Because his daughter was in that federal building when the bomb went off. She survived, but barely. And apparently, nearly losing her made him realize he was protecting a monster. He pulls up a photo. His name is Robert Chen. The name stops my breath. Chen. Like David and Michael? Older brother. Head of the family. The one who vouched for both of them when they went to work for me and Rourke respectively. Vincent's voice is carefully neutral. If he has what he claims, this could be the final piece. The one that ensures Rourke never sees daylight again. Or it's a trap, set by Rourke to draw us out, kill the witnesses while pretending to offer help. Possible. But Vega's team is vetting him now. If he's legitimate, we need what he has. And if he's not, then we adapt, like we always do. Vincent stands, offers his hand. Come on, let's go see if the Chen family has any more surprises left. We arrive at the federal building downtown, the one that wasn't bombed, surrounded by enough security to repel a small army. Robert Chen waits in an interview room, 50-something, gray-haired, looking like every middle-aged bureaucrat who's ever enabled evil while telling himself it was necessary. When he sees me, his expression crumples. Ms. Parker, I'm so sorry for everything, for what happened to your parents, for my nephew's involvement, for 30 years of looking the other way while Rourke destroyed lives. Sorry doesn't bring them back. No. But maybe this does. He slides a hard drive across the table. Everything. Every murder Rourke ordered. Every bribe he paid. Every politician, judge, and cop he owned. 20 years of documentation I kept as insurance, never thinking I'd actually use it. Why now? Vincent asks. Because my daughter almost died yesterday. She's 23, works at the FBI field office doing data entry. She survived because she was in the bathroom when the bomb went off. Robert's voice breaks. I realized I'd been protecting a man who would kill my own child to maintain power. That's when I knew. I had to stop being complicit. Vega reviews the hard drive contents, and her expression shifts from skeptical to stunned. This is everything. Dates, times, wire transfers, recordings of Rourke ordering hits, admissions of guilt detailed enough that no jury could dismiss them. And it's admissible? I ask. With Robert's testimony corroborating, yes. Vega looks at him. You understand what you're doing? Rourke has resources even in prison. Turning on him makes you a target. I'm already a target. So is my daughter. So is everyone who ever trusted me to do the right thing and watched me fail. Robert meets my eyes. I can't undo the past, but I can make sure the future is different. If you'll let me help. I think about David Chen, dying in Maya's apartment. About Michael Chen, shot by Vega after trying to kill us. About family loyalty and the terrible weight of knowing your blood enabled evil. Your nephews are dead because of choices they made. Choices you influenced by teaching them that power matters more than integrity. I know, and I'll carry that forever. But Ms. Parker, Emily, your parents believed people could change, that systems could be reformed. Let me prove they were right. The words land like benediction or curse. My parents did believe in redemption, in second chances for people who genuinely chose differently. But they also died because people like Robert Chen stayed silent when speaking up would have mattered. Okay. But Robert, you testify. On the record. You name every name. Expose every crime. And you do it knowing that if you're lying, if this is a setup, I will personally make sure you face the same consequences as Rourke. Understood. And thank you. We spend the next week building the case. Robert's evidence combined with Catherine's files and Vincent's documentation creates a picture so comprehensive that even Chicago's notoriously corrupt legal system can't ignore it. Federal prosecutors fast-track the trial. Media coverage is relentless. The city holds its breath waiting for justice or disappointment. We've been promised both before. Marcus returns to school under protection, trying to be normal while cameras follow his every move. He handles it with grace I didn't have at 16, answering reporters' questions about his parents with eloquence that makes me proud and heartbroken simultaneously. Vincent starts the process of restructuring the Silver Crown into the employee cooperative he promised. Fair wages, ethical practices, workers, voices in every decision. It's messy and expensive and probably doomed to fail by capitalism's standards. But it's also exactly what my parents would have wanted. And me? I sit in depositions and court hearings, telling my story over and over until it stops feeling like mine and starts feeling like Chicago's. The janitor who exposed corruption. The daughter who avenged her parents. The woman who stayed loud when silence would have been safer. The narrative is cleaner than reality. Ignores my fear and doubt, and the nights I wake up certain someone's coming to finish what Rourke started. But narratives matter. They give people something to believe in, something to aspire to. And if my story helps one other person find courage, then maybe the sanitized version is worth the discomfort. 3 weeks after the press conference, Thomas Rourke's trial begins. The courtroom is packed. Media, victims, families, federal officials, and me in the front row beside Marcus and Vincent, watching as the prosecution lays out 30 years of corruption in methodical, devastating detail. Rourke sits at the defense table looking smaller than I remember. Prison has aged him. Or maybe it's just that power without its trappings looks pathetic. His lawyers fight hard. Motions, objections, attempts to suppress evidence. But Robert Chen's testimony is unshakable. Catherine Hale's documents are too detailed to dismiss. And the jury, carefully selected, heavily vetted, looks appropriately horrified. On day 7, I take the stand. The prosecutor is gentle but thorough, walking me through my parents' deaths, my documentation of Craig's fraud, the chain of events that led to exposing Hale and eventually Rourke. Rourke's lawyer tries to rattle me, suggests I'm motivated by revenge, that my testimony is unreliable due to trauma. I look at him calmly and say, yes, I want revenge. For my parents. For every family Rourke destroyed. But revenge and justice aren't mutually exclusive. Sometimes they're the same thing. The courtroom is silent. Even Rourke looks impressed in that moment, recognizing perhaps that he created his own worst enemy by underestimating a janitor with a notebook. The trial lasts 6 weeks. Testimony from dozens of witnesses. Evidence so overwhelming that even the defense starts to look defeated halfway through. And finally, closing arguments where the prosecutor describes Rourke as the architect of institutional corruption who believed himself above consequences. The jury deliberates for 3 days. When they return, the verdict is unanimous on all counts. Guilty of racketeering, murder conspiracy, terrorism, corruption of public officials. Sentencing is immediate. Life in federal prison without possibility of parole. Thomas Rourke is led away in shackles. He doesn't look back, doesn't make threats or promises, just walks out of the courtroom with the dignity of someone who played the game as well as he could and lost anyway. I should feel triumphant. Instead, I feel exhausted, hollow, like I've been holding my breath for 2 years and finally exhaled, but my lungs haven't remembered how to refill. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarm. I give a brief statement about justice delayed but not denied, about hoping Chicago can heal, about moving forward. The words are true but insufficient. How do you summarize 2 years of grief and rage and learning to be loud in a soundbite? Marcus hugs me on the courthouse steps. We did it, Em. Mom and Dad would be so proud. Yeah, they would. Vincent appears beside us, and his smile is small but genuine. So, what now? Now? I laugh, and it sounds almost normal. Now I figure out how to be Emily Parker when I'm not fighting for survival. Any ideas? A few. I look at the city spread before us, Chicago in autumn. Gold and red and still beautiful despite everything. James Rodriguez wants me to co-write a book. Document everything. Make sure the story doesn't get whitewashed by time. And there's a nonprofit asking me to consult on victim advocacy work. Help other people navigate the system when it tries to silence them. Sounds like you're staying busy. Sounds like I'm staying loud. I meet his eyes. What about you? Still planning to disappear? I was. But someone convinced me that building something good matters more than running from something bad. He pauses. The Silver Crown's employee cooperative launches next month. We're hiring. If you're interested in director of operations, actual position this time, not just a title to protect you. The offer is genuine, complicated, full of possibility and landmines in equal measure. Working with Vincent means staying in his orbit, in Chicago's gravitational pull, in the world that tried to kill us both. But it also means finishing what we started, making the Silver Crown into something that actually honors its name, creating the kind of workplace my parents fought for, where people have voices and power and dignity. I'm interested. But Vincent, I need to be clear about something. What's that? This, us, whatever we're building, it's partnership. Not romance, not ownership, just two people trying to do better than the examples we were given. I can work with that. His smile is real, warm, the expression of someone who finally stopped fighting his past and started building a future. Partnership it is. We shake hands formally, and the gesture would be ridiculous if it weren't so important. Two people who've seen each other at their worst, choosing to see each other at their best moving forward. The months that follow are messier than trials, quieter than press conferences, but somehow more important. Marcus thrives in school, becomes student body president, uses his platform to advocate for labor rights and ethical business practices. He's our father's son, and watching him find his voice makes every terrifying moment worth it. Vincent transforms the Silver Crown into exactly what he promised: fair wages, profit sharing, workers on the board of directors. It's not perfect. There are arguments and growing pains and moments when capitalism's ruthless efficiency looks appealing compared to the messy reality of democracy. But it's good. It's different. It's proof that another way is possible. And me? I write the book with James Rodriguez. Testify at 3 more trials as Chicago's corruption network unravels. Help launch the victim advocacy nonprofit that uses my story to show other people how to fight back against institutional abuse. I'm still counting. Not sins now, but victories. Small ones. The kind that add up to systemic change if you're patient enough to let them compound. On the anniversary of my parents' deaths, Marcus and I visit their graves. We bring flowers and stories about the empire we burned down in their memory. I tell them about the Silver Crown's cooperative, about Rourke's conviction, about their son's advocacy work. Marcus tells them we survived, that we stayed loud, that we made their deaths mean something beyond grief. We don't cry. We've done enough crying. Instead, we make promises to keep fighting, to keep building, to make Chicago into the city they believed it could be. Not perfect, but better. Always trying to be better. As we leave the cemetery, my phone rings. Vega's name on the screen. Emily, we have a problem. What kind of problem? Catherine Hale escaped federal custody this morning. Walked out during a medical transfer. We don't know how. Don't know where she is. But Emily, she left a message. For you. The world tilts. Catherine Hale. The woman who gave me evidence and killed her husband and claimed she wanted redemption. Escaped. Free. Dangerous. What's the message? She says she has one final piece of the puzzle, something that will make everything we've done meaningful. But she'll only share it with you, in person. Tonight? That's obviously a trap. Obviously. But Emily, what if it's not? What if she really does have something that completes this? Something that ensures Rourke's entire network stays buried? I look at Marcus, safe and whole and waiting by our car. At Chicago, the city that tried to break us and failed. At the future we're building, fragile and precious and always one threat away from collapse. Where does she want to meet? Navy Pier. Midnight. Where it all started with Hale. She says it's poetic. It's suicide. Probably, but you've survived worse. And Emily, if Catherine's telling the truth, this could be the final piece. The one that makes sure Chicago actually changes instead of just cycling through new corruption. The choice settles on my shoulders with familiar weight. Safety or completion. Walking away or finishing what I started. Being smart or being brave. I think about my grandmother's cross. About invisibility as survival. About all the reasons to stop while I'm ahead. Then I think about my parents. About Craig and Hale and Rourke. About every person who thought I'd break. Tell Catherine I'll be there, but Vega, if this goes wrong, if she kills me, make sure Marcus knows it was my choice. That I wasn't a victim. Just someone who chose to finish the story. Emily, promise me. A long pause. Then, I promise. I hang up. Marcus is watching with eyes that know exactly what I just agreed to. You're going. It's not a question. I have to. Then I'm coming with you. Absolutely not. We're partners now. You don't get to protect me from the dangerous parts anymore. He crosses his arms, and the gesture is so familiar. Our father's stubbornness, our mother's certainty. Where you go, I go. That's the deal. I should refuse. Should lock him in a safe house. Should do anything except bring my 16-year-old brother to a midnight meeting with a woman who's proven herself capable of murder. But I also remember what Catherine said in prison. You inspired me to finally act. Maybe she really does have something important. Maybe this meeting is genuinely about closure, not violence. Or maybe I'm about to make the final, fatal mistake. The one that proves Rourke right. That staying loud eventually gets you killed. Okay, we go together. But Marcus, if anything feels wrong, if Catherine makes any move that looks threatening, you run. You don't look back. You don't try to save me. You just survive. Deal. Deal. We tell Vincent. He insists on coming, bringing his security team, turning it into a small army. But I refuse. Catherine was specific. Me alone, or not at all. Too many people and she disappears again, taking whatever truth she's holding hostage. At 11:45 p.m., Marcus and I arrive at Navy Pier. The Ferris wheel turns against Chicago's skyline, the same place where Hale confessed and Michael Chen shot Vincent and I nearly died proving I could stay loud. Coming back feels like closing a circle, or walking into a trap, maybe both. Catherine Hale stands by the water, backlit by city lights, looking exactly as she did in prison. Elegant, controlled, dangerous as a scalpel. When she sees us, she smiles. Emily and Marcus. How lovely. She gestures to the bench beside her. Please, sit. This won't take long. We sit. Every instinct screams run, but curiosity, the same curiosity that made me count Craig's fraud instead of ignoring it, keeps me rooted. Why escape, I ask. You were already doing minimum security time. You would have been out in 15 years. Because 15 years is too long to wait for what comes next. Catherine pulls out a folder, sets it between us. This is the real reason I contacted you. The final truth Richard took to his grave. What truth? That Thomas Rourke wasn't the top. He answered to someone else. Someone who's been running Chicago's corruption for 40 years. Someone who's still in power, still untouchable, still deciding who lives and dies in this city. The words are ice in my veins. Who? Catherine's smile is sad, knowing. The expression of someone who's carried this secret too long. The mayor, Elizabeth Navarro, Chicago's beloved reformer. The woman who promised to clean up corruption while personally orchestrating every crime we've exposed. The world stops. Mayor Navarro, 3 terms, popular, progressive. The politician everyone thought was different. The one who publicly condemned Rourke, who praised my courage at the press conference, who built her entire career on being the opposite of Chicago's old guard. That's impossible. She's been fighting corruption. She's been managing it. Catherine opens the folder. Richard worked for Rourke. Rourke worked for Navarro. She's been playing both sides for decades, publicly crusading against the corruption she privately profits from. And Emily? She knows you're close to figuring it out. That's why I escaped. To warn you before she eliminates the loose end. I stare at evidence that can't be real, but looks devastatingly authentic. Financial records tying Navarro to offshore accounts. Communications between her and Rourke. A 40-year conspiracy that makes everything we've done look like taking down the middle management while the CEO escapes unscathed. Why tell me this? Why not go to the FBI yourself? Because I'm a convicted murderer. My testimony is worth nothing. But you? Catherine looks at me with something that might be respect. You're Chicago's hero, the janitor who took down an empire. If you expose Navarro, people will listen. The system will have to respond. Or they'll kill me to protect her. Probably. But you'll die loud. The way you've lived since the night Craig grabbed you. Catherine stands. I'm leaving Chicago. Tonight, disappearing somewhere Navarro's reach doesn't extend, but I needed you to have this. To finish what we started. She starts to walk away, stops, turns back. Emily, your parents would be proud. Not because you survived, but because you never stopped fighting for the world they believed possible. Don't stop now. Not when you're this close to actually changing things. Then she's gone, disappearing into Navy Pier's shadows like she was never there. Marcus and I sit in stunned silence, folder between us, Chicago spreading out in all its corrupt, beautiful, broken glory. His voice is small. What do we do? I look at the evidence, at my brother, at the city that tried to kill us and failed but might finally succeed if I push this one step further. I think about my grandmother's cross, about invisibility, about all the ways survival has meant staying small. Then I pull out my phone, dial James Rodriguez. James, it's Emily Parker. I have a story for you, the biggest one Chicago's ever seen. But we have to move fast. I'm about to become the most dangerous woman in this city. I'm listening. I take a breath, count to 3. Then I start talking. Because I learned something these last 2 years. Power protects power until someone brave enough or stupid enough decides to burn it all down. My parents tried. They died. But they also taught me that trying matters. That fighting impossible battles is how impossible victories happen. So I'll fight. One more time. Even if it kills me. Even if Marcus has to finish what I start. Because staying loud isn't just a choice anymore. It's who I am. The story continues. But that's a war for tomorrow. Tonight, I sit with my brother on Navy Pier, holding evidence that could destroy Chicago's government or get us both killed. And I make the same choice I've made every day since Craig Dawson grabbed my arm in that hallway. I choose truth over safety, voice over silence, being dangerous over being invisible. And whatever comes next, I'll face it the way I've faced everything. Loud, certain, unbreakable. The way my parents taught me. The way Vincent believed I could be. The way I finally learned to believe in myself. Chicago glitters before us, full of sins still uncounted, and truth still buried. But morning is coming, and with it, one more battle. One more chance to prove that ordinary people can extraordinary things when they refuse to stay small. I smile at Marcus. He smiles back. And together, we start planning how to take down a mayor. Because the story isn't over. It's just beginning.